real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a fly one. Oh yeah, I'm a fly one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching Vilemike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a fly one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching Vilemike and his real wild child.
Howdy, folks. It's Vilemike here, and with me so far is Elihu. How you doing, man?
Physically here, not mentally.
And it's almost kind of funny. We got a running theme so far because first thing you send me before the show starts is found you running to get a donut. Be back soon. So in other words, you're going to be eating.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Dandelion. Good morning, all. I'll hop on a bit. Currently eating. And I have in my hand, right before I start the stream, a cookie, which I am about to put in my mouth to be eating.
I normally don't wake up hungry, but this morning I'm like, damn, I really want a donut. I'm like, it's up the hill, down the street.
So, well, before I go to that, we can switch back to this format. Because, oh, Dandelion's saying she's polite by not eating on the stream, whereas apparently me and Elihu are incredibly rude because we're willing to eat on a live stream.
I do not eat on camera. My name is not Josh Gates.
I'm sure that means something to someone, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah, Josh Gates is the only one who can eat on camera.
Well, considering this is also, you know, the CNA stream where you're encouraged to drink at least coffee on the live stream.
Hey.
I have never seen an accurate description of me and Elihu.
Uncouth. It's uncouth stuff. ED. We just forgot to put the ED on there. Not erectile dysfunction, but the ED for uncouth. What is that? Oh, jeez.
Oh, and no, I have not seen the last 2 episodes of Strange New Worlds, so no spoiling for me, please.
You have not seen the musical?
Nope. It's
okay.
It's a musical episode. I have to watch that one with Caddy, just like I did the Lower Decks episode.
Okay, I'm going to tell you one thing, and it has nothing to do with spoilers, okay? There are bunnies mentioned.
Groovy.
You know, with the Buffy reference, maybe it's bunnies. There are bunnies mentioned, okay? They had a call back for Buffy. I love that.
So, well, Dandelion can't spoil it. She hasn't seen a single episode. I don't blame you, Dandelion. It took me a while. Well, I don't know if I'm still 100% into Strange New Worlds. It's just so blah to me. At least Discovery, I could kind of not really hate watch it, but I could watch it and, you know, all the little anachronisms that don't make sense in context with the rest of the show, I can get pissed off about. But Strange New Worlds, they at least try to just do an updated version instead of just outright ignoring canon.
It's still canon, but it's a different timeline. It's been confirmed now. It's a different timeline because of this episode.
Well, thank you for spoiling shit for me. Elihu, you're a dumbass.
They basically announced some. It was the 5th episode of the first season. They actually kind of confirmed it, but confirmed it. What I'm not telling that word right now. Sorry.
I'll take your word for it. I don't remember that being confirmed in the 5th episode, but And of course, Prodigy was great because it was, it was a younger kids show, but it had really good storytelling. Lower Decks is just a ball of nostalgia, fun, and references, and I love it. Picard, first season was great except for the final episode, which I thought was cliche and stupid and lazy. Seasons 2 and 3 of Picard I thought were fairly well done, and maybe not the best of Trek, but they were good.
I did not like the first season of Picard. Second was okay. The third was better. First one sucked.
I thought Picard had a great first episode. I'm sorry, that first episode of Star Trek Picard was freaking awesome.
You got an admiral in Starfleet who's told that there's been a murder, and what to do? He goes to sleep. I'm like, what the hell, Picard? Do your fucking job.
Well, I still think the first episode was great. And his job at the time was being a vintner, not a detective. He wasn't fucking Dixon Hill. Still,
somebody told a former admiral of Starfleet that somebody was murdered in their place, and what did he do? He just went to sleep. I'm like, this is not Picard.
Hold on. Do you think a Starfleet admiral has to investigate every murder, and every Starfleet admiral has to? No.
I didn't say investigate. He didn't do anything. He didn't call anybody. He just went to sleep. Like, okay, we'll deal with it. He just went to sleep. No phone call, no anything.
Yeah, I still don't care. I still think the first episode was great. But that last episode of Star Trek Picard was just so cliche and awful that I'm like, no. But Strange New Worlds, every time I try to get into an episode, it's just like, it's there. Oh, I didn't even notice Danny Lina was trying to get in.
Hello. That's
How
why
you doing?
I put a comment in the private chat, because I know sometimes people just don't notice me.
Well, it's not notice you. I've got the window halved because the whole point of the title of the stream is I was going to post stuff to the eBay store. Okay. And I'm trying to get back up to 250 listings that I haven't hit since after Christmas.
Gotcha.
Because every time I go around to actually getting that, I either forget to post stuff, and I literally just was like, okay, let me go ahead and transfer the pictures from my phone that I took last night to post. And I literally found like a bunch of games. I'm like, why didn't I post these?
I totally get it. I often have the same problem. I had yarn that I hadn't posted on my Etsy shop for like ever. And I finally in May posted every single thing actually. And then I found one more thing. And have I posted it since then? No, I have not. It's still sitting there waiting for me to take photos of it.
Well, I literally go to my to be posted stuff in my computer.
Uh-huh.
And I find 5 Xbox One games, 2 coffee mugs, and a DVD I meant to post a while ago.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Daniel, I don't just mean a while ago. I mean last year before Christmas.
Dude, some of the yarn I hadn't posted in like 6 years. I'd had it sitting in a bin to post at my Etsy shop for 6 years. I did finally do it, but it was a while.
So you are familiar then. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. You have ADHD?
Yes, I have ADH. Ooh, shiny.
Yeah, I think it's actually an actual like symptom of that.
I just have
starting paralysis or something like that. Like you need to do something. It isn't even a difficult thing to do. You just can't make yourself do it.
I don't have ADHD. I just have THC.
Well, actually, the joke among certain friends of mine is I don't have ADHD. I have ADHB.
Okay.
It's attention deficit. Hey, boobs.
Ah. Gotcha.
So
kind of like the joke around here is like, how do you get around town? Oh, BMW. You have a car? No. Bus, mini, walk.
Yeah.
So, as of right now, I have 245 listings. I wanted to hit 250 before the end of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And the people watching, your job is to prevent me from doing so.
I thought we were supposed to make sure you did post things.
Yes.
No.
I mean, if all you've got to do is like put the picture up, the price up, and a little blurb, then
Well, no, the way you're supposed to prevent me from doing so is not from preventing me from posting the listings. It's from buying shit so my listing totals goes down.
Ah, gotcha. Sorry, low on
So
cash.
my little dealy bob for anyone who's watching, and of course it looks like according to my little thing, I have one person watching on Twitch.
I got 3 on YouTube.
Yeah, I was saying I'm watching on YouTube.
Yeah, mine says 3
Yeah,
on YouTube.
Yeah, according to StreamYards right now, I have one watcher and it's on Twitch.
Cameras are off, man. Like I didn't even get notification. That's why I sent you a message. Like, wait, no stream today? I had to search YouTube because I got no notification for it. So YouTube is really odd.
I don't have notifications, but usually your stream pops up at the top of my things you might want to watch page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when everything is scheduled, I always put notification. I got a half-hour notification before.
Plus, if you have a lot of or you're subscribed to a lot of things, if you go to the live tab, anyone who has a live stream going or scheduled in the future, you can click on.
Yeah.
Scheduled in the future, you can have that send you a notification. Even if you watch it on your laptop, it'll send you a notification on your phone if you're signed in on your phone.
Yeah, about half hour before the show starts. So I get.
Yeah. You misunderstand. I don't have notifications on because I don't like notifications. Like I have to do things in life. And if I had notifications on, I would just be constantly getting notifications. So I don't have notifications on except for Etsy and like text messages from actual human beings. Yeah, and phone calls. Other than that, I don't really. I mean, I have some of them that are like it's a banner notification, but there's no sound because I don't really like notifications. It's like I know we'll be streaming here, so I just come here.
I only have a few notifications on, like Mike, Y-Files, Chris Knight, P&K. Sorry, I have very few notifications, but when I'm supposed to get them, I'm supposed to get them. I never got this one.
Chris Knight, I would definitely turn off the notifications.
No, only when he goes live.
Many.
Only when he goes live.
That's true.
Oh, crap.
Hello.
I mean, LDG.
You did not say the keyword 3 times. What's he doing here?
Morning, Pickles.
Morning. Good morning, everybody. What's going on?
Yeah,
nothing much. We're just talking about not using notifications versus using notifications. Very compelling conversation, I assure you.
LDG, I should find out tomorrow, okay?
I have.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, let me know.
Okay.
I subscribe to like 2,000 different things on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I have notifications set on about half of them, and I get maybe 4 a day.
Yeah, YouTube is really weird about notifications.
Hey, Mercer.
And what's weird is it'll send me notifications for crap I'm not subscribed to.
Really?
Wow.
And then people like Bird who subscribe, ring the bell so I should get every notification. I get 0 notifications from his channel.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have come up with a term for what we can call tweets now. Instead of calling them tweets, since Elon changed it, we can call them expletives.
Yeah, when you do that, you're an expert now.
I just thought calling them expletives because that's like saying it's a swear.
Yeah, I like that.
So
I'm still gonna call it fucking Twitter though.
Yeah, but I kind of like being able to call them expletives. So I thought that would be an entertaining, use of my time.
And I definitely liked how on YouTube, when I went to share it on Twitter, they of course still have it called Twitter, and they still of course have it with the blue bird.
Yeah, it hasn't been fixed yet.
Where's that? Sorry,
I don't think they should fix it. I think they should leave it as that from now on.
Hang on, I'll be right back. I need to log in the stream. I don't know why I got. Log back in real fast.
Did you, Mercer?
I found
that sounds exciting. Sounds like you've been watching too much Doctor Who.
Are you saying he was lost in space? A space. Oh, LDG, did you bring him up? Did you bring MB up?
Yeah, I brought him up. Or was I not supposed to? Sorry.
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Dumbass. I was asking if you did because I thought it was. I was like, wait, MB just turned into Elihu just turned into MB.
Confusing.
Yeah, I thought he was on here. I was like, wait a minute, what I just wrong? What I do? Did I kick him off? Like, wait a minute.
Nah, he scurried, I think, temporarily.
I had a couple other things I was
didn't
doing
do it
before I
either.
came over.
There he is.
Actually, okay, that's why. Shit, just here.
All right, so I'm gonna go back to trying to post stuff. We can continue talking about whatever, but if you guys see anything, if you click on the store and you go and you see something you like, and it has a most of my stuff should have a buy it now or best offer thing, unless it's like I have to make a certain amount on that product.
Right.
Let me know, and I won't say if it's, as long as you're not being an asshole about it, I'll probably accept it.
Good to know.
Especially for the people watching the stream right now.
Excellent. Yeah, I don't need things. I have enough things, but thank you.
Well, plus shipping to Canada can be a pain in the ass sometimes.
Okay,
Yes, that is true.
Now I'm cross-streaming on X, not Twitter. X. The little blue bird is there still.
I'm shocked. And of course, the first thing I'm going to try to post is a game I've never even played.
Ooh, what game?
Something called Victor Vran. It looks like a Dracula, Castlevania knockoff.
Right.
Oh, Batman Arkham Knight is on sale on the PlayStation Store. 2 weeks ago, it was $5. So I had it in my cart. They have a sale now. All 3 Arkham games are $6. So it's $2 a game right now on the PlayStation Network. Plus, when you do that package, you get the free skin.
So you're trying to sell
levels.
other stuff when Vile's trying to sell his stuff.
Yes.
Dude,
Yeah. What's
that's
wrong
just
with
rude, man.
They are Californians. What do you expect?
Okay.
Well, and they were eating on stream, so we know that they're uncouth vegans.
On when I'm trying to shill for my company.
Yeah. Don't promote other stuff.
By the way, Elihu, there's going to be a small chance I'm going to be busy on that date. So I'll let you know. But it all depends on Tuesday.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Whether or not I win the lotto or not.
Okay. Yeah. Then I guess I will be.
If I win the lotto, I'm going to come see you.
I didn't win a lotto either.
I won.
I didn't win,
got
but I don't. I didn't win, but I don't play. So you know.
Hey guys.
Then
guess
you
what?
probably won more than we did.
That
I won. I got the Powerball number, so I won $1. I won $1.
Hey,
No, better than a
Mercer.
poke in the eye with a
Mercer,
sharp
wave.
stick.
There you go.
I actually won
Hey,
$1.
how's it going?
Hello, Mercer.
Howdy.
What the hell is that? Oh, it's a cat. Oh my God.
Cat.
I thought it was
Dude,
a
I don't
bunny
even have my
inside
glasses,
out.
but I can tell that was a cat.
That's
Let
my
it be
cat
known
Lorna.
that LDG can't recognize a pussy.
You know, though, it is a
Somebody was
really
gonna
weird
say
cat
it.
picture.
You guys didn't get my reference to Interstellar, the movie Interstellar.
No, I got it. I just didn't say anything because I'm lame.
I just thought it sounded
I didn't
something
watch
from
that
Doctor
movie.
Who.
I didn't watch that movie Interstellar, and I
Yeah.
purposely did not watch it because I knew exactly how it was going to end. I was right, and I'm sorry, but when I can predict the ending of a movie, I don't want to watch it.
Hey, it was the most
If
realistic.
you didn't watch it, how did you know how it ends?
Most realistic image of a black hole with 4
All I
black
got
hole
to do,
pictures
all I
taken.
got to do is just check. All I got to do is go to YouTube and catch the ending, and I was like, "Yep, I was right."
There you go.
Well, it's not that it wasn't telegraphed. It's sometimes the spectacle is all you need.
Yes, it is possible the
Switch over to
visuals
that
were
logo so
impressive.
you're not blocked as much.
Hey,
You're
look,
gonna have to
LD
do a lot more than you're gonna have to do a lot more than visuals to impress me. Sorry, I'm still of the old school
Hard to-
practical effects. I appreciate CGI, but I am in that camp that has been overused to death.
So you like practical effects over CGI effects, right?
I'm old school as well. I don't mind if it's used well, like if CGI is used well. For example, like I know me and Vile don't agree on this, but I loved watching Andor because of the story. You know what
I
I mean?
agree. I thought
And-
the story
and-
was great.
And the special effects were good. You know what I mean? They weren't like knock your socks off, but they added to the story, and it was well filmed, and I never was taken out of the story.
I enjoyed Andor.
Let's take a movie like Tron. The effects are obviously dated, or like The Last Starfighter.
Oh, I was going to say that.
But the story is so good that it's like, okay, I can make allowances for why this stuff hasn't aged well.
Clash of the Titans.
The original?
Yes, Harry Harrison.
Where's the problem with that one?
No, there's no problem with that one. That's the perfect.
Okay. I started to say, if you're going there, next thing you know, maybe like, are you going to go into Jason and the Argonauts next?
Dude, Jason and the Argonauts sucked, okay? Clash of the Titans is better.
I'm just saying,
Wait, hold on. Which are you talking about?
Original 50s, 60s.
Yeah, the 80s.
Are you fucking nuts? That movie was perfect for its age.
By the way, my cat Nermal has a Star Trek symbol on her forehead. Like, I can't get it there, dude. But that dot on her forehead looks like the Star Trek symbol.
Listen, Clash of the Titans did very well. I thought their Medusa thing was great. The Kraken was nice, but sorry, man, the freaking skull bones, you just can't get better than that.
I still think the Death Star trench from the original Star Wars film is such a fantastic sequence. Without all the CGI that they added, I have the despecialized editions.
I never understood that trench scene because why did they fly along inside the trench, then go above the trench and avoid all that shit, then immediately go into the trench and fire the rockets? Come on, you don't have to go in the trench.
They weren't rockets;
Because
they were
it's
torpedoes.
based on a World War II actual scenario. That's why.
Yeah,
but
that was literally a World War II. Okay, here's the thing.
Any pilot will tell you.
Okay, hear me out here. You are talking about dropping a bomb in a hole. You are literally, the whole point of this is you are trying to thread a needle while being shot at.
It's a great movie. Just a great movie.
The Trench Run really is one of the best of all time.
It's got tension. It's got release. It's got great. Even the minor characters like Gold Leader, I think they're great characters.
I love Star Wars, but I've never, ever got into the trench or canyon flying chase scenes. I always thought that was impractical in reality. I never got into that.
That is completely different for me because every time I'm watching the Trench Run, when it's Luke, Biggs, and Wedge. When it's Wedge, Biggs, and Luke, and they're going through that trench run, and the tension is just mounting. You're watching this thing go, and then you're like, he's lost Wedge. Wedge has been damaged. Biggs has been killed. His friend from childhood has now just been killed. And it's like all of a sudden, I have you now, and then all of a sudden, the Millennium Falcon shows up. Dude, I get goosebumps every time that scene comes up. I get goosebumps
just thinking about it, man.
Just because right there, it's like everything coalesces to, woohoo! You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.
The story is aged so well. It's so simple. It's so good.
Get this. You have them flying inside of a trench, right? You got 3 X-fighters flying inside a trench. Couldn't Luke be in here and the other 2 be up here watching this area instead of them all being inside the trench and getting shot? That's stupid.
Because all the towers are just picking them out.
I did always question the why they have to fly through the trench.
Exactly.
I have to agree a little bit there.
No, the towers would take them out if they did that. The towers.
That's why they have Porkins there. Come on. He was a support before he got shipped.
By the way, the guy that played Porkins.
Remember, the whole point was they were designed against a large scale attack, not snup fighters.
I'm going to yell as loud as I want.
That's why they had to go do the ship to ship.
Okay, Jordan, we're going to yell as loud as we want.
By the way, the guy that plays Porkins was in Indiana Jones in the first Indiana, the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and he was in Batman.
Yeah, no, he's the one.
Yes,
that,
he was.
yeah.
Oh,
Who
I
are
forgot
you?
all about him. And he was Eckard.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
are you? I'm Batman. He's that guy. That's
He's like,
what.
think about the future, Jack.
And I just want to
You
note,
know
you went
mean.
eBay.
Wow, Twitter. What is Twitter?
That's where you make expletives.
Ah,
Let's
and
get
I
rid of
saw
that.
an X there.
So you guys don't see.
Yeah, I'm still bitching about that thing.
No, I'm trying to get everybody to call them expletives now.
Oh, is that what they're called now?
No, that's what I thought they should be called. So that's what I'm
Okay,
trying to
I don't
encourage
know.
people to use.
So yeah, everything I post during the stream, I'll post live to Twitter just in case.
Oh, by the way, Musk.
As an expletive.
Musk.
And for those that don't know, your goal is to prevent me from.
Hitting 250 by buying stuff.
Oh, by the way, Musk tweeted or expleted that if anybody gets fired because of any post on platforms, he will personally pay for all legal fees.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. I saw some people replying to that.
Yeah.
Shit,
I'm like,
I would
what the
love
hell?
that.
I'm like, really?
Elon Musk's going to give me money. You know what, though? Nobody at my work would care what I posted. That's the
Going
problem.
back to practical effects, I love the American Werewolf in London transformation. CGI just doesn't replace something like that.
Oh, with the eyes bubbling? Oh, that was cool.
Oh, that American Werewolf in Paris.
Yeah.
That just they
Well,
did not
and-
have the same
Oh.
effect.
And even though I can see the matte lines, I love the original Rancor monster. It's my favorite monster on screen ever. So yeah, I love all the special effects.
Captain Mercer, I've got, in my opinion, I've got the perfect one that will talk about how practical versus CGI. The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing,
Yeah.
and then that remake they tried to make.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's like a
yeah, the
prequel
remake.
remake.
That CGI they did made the alien so like, I'm like, no, I'm not scared. I'm like, give me the practical effects. I will freaking watch. And I found out that actually that movie was done with practical effects, and it was actually all taken out and made CGI by the studio.
Alien. That is a great practical effects.
Oh yes.
I think the best
I
ones
agree.
are when they combine practical effects with CGI, like Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park does it in such a way where even though it was made in the frickin' 90s, it still holds up today.
Yes, it does. It is still the first movie I remember going to see where I was like, holy
Yeah,
shit,
yes.
I actually believe I'm looking at dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Do you guys know that one of the
Yes.
kids in the movie basically ruined and broke one of the Raptor animatronics because he got so scared he was shooting water at the robot, at the dinosaur, and it broke and malfunctioned and sparked.
Oh, really?
I always think of those velociraptors every single time I throw like little like kitchen scraps in for the chickens. Those things are voracious. They can run so freaking fast. It's crazy. I'm like, damn it.
The first
Yeah, but
CGI shot that worked really well is the in the abyss when the aliens send a probe made of water
Oh
into
my
the
gosh, that was great.
submersible.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I liked
It
That
really just
movie,
goes-
that movie did not get the respect it deserved.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
It is a great movie, and that, I mean, wasn't that James Cameron kind of using that was after he did T2, right? Wasn't he taking that?
No, it's before that.
Was that
Before
before it?
You have to
It was
highlight
before
Gorilla's
it.
final
No,
comment.
no,
That's
no.
great.
That is where he got the technology to do
Yeah, I was trying to
liquefied
remember. I didn't know
Terminator.
which one could.
I
That's
love
why I
that.
didn't
One
know
at a
which one
time,
came
people.
first.
One at a time.
Okay,
I
I
was
love
saying that
Gorilla's
I didn't
comment.
remember which one came first.
Yeah,
That's
he did
great
the
comment,
abyss first.
Gorilla's.
No, I couldn't remember which one came first. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, that's how he got
I'm
the.
sorry, I don't remember every year every movie came out.
Yeah,
You're
he
good,
wanted to
you're
have
good.
in the
I wasn't
original one.
criticizing you.
In the original one, Cameron wanted to have a liquefied Terminator, but there was no special effects or practical magic for that until the Abyss came out. He's like, okay, now I can do this. That's how well we got the liquefied Terminator in T2.
Yeah, but what's amazing is that CGI still holds up.
Still can't believe Robert Patrick was out running that motorcycle.
Yeah, when you read some of the behind the scenes stuff, the fact that he learned how to run without breathing heavily
I
and still
know.
ran a freaking motorcycle.
Like, wow.
That guy really was a friggin' Terminator.
Yeah.
Why?
There was a scene that I told got. There was a
pictures.
scene I saw that got deleted. Did you know there was actually a deleted scene where he went out and killed the dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could get that on some editions. Like it's on my longer edition. It's included in some versions.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I do recall there was something James Cameron fixed up. I don't know if this is true or not. I can't remember. But it was something about when the movie came out and when the truck went off, the front windshield came out and it's visually seen. We can all see it. And then you see the Terminator, the T-1000, knock it out. And James Cameron, I remember seeing a comment where he was like, oh, God, we got to fix it. He goes, dude, nobody's going to notice it. And he was like bitching because he was like, people would always bring that up. And he's like, fuck, I knew it.
It got fixed.
You know what?
Yeah, I already got fixed.
He fixed Titanic at the end. The stars weren't right. But Neil deGrasse Tyson told him how the stars should look at that time of year, and he fixed it.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell he was thinking with E.T., though. That was just like, what the hell were you thinking there?
Shotguns, walkie-talkies, back to shotguns. Like,
Well,
dude, come on.
That's Spielberg.
Spielberg, dude.
All I remember about that scene you were talking about when the truck goes over was the camera guys that were originally set to film it were like, we're not going to friggin' do that. This is too friggin' dangerous. The angle and, everything you want is nuts. And James Cameron was like, okay, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
And the other
I didn't
thing,
hear about that one.
That's appropriate.
The scene where the helicopter goes under the overpass, that is freaking crazy because it had like a few feet on either side for the rotors to clear.
It was about 1.5 feet.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like seriously, like ballsy scene.
Yeah, that movie, I would say T2 definitely has a great, and Jurassic Park, like you said, Mike, are a great way of how we learned how to blend practical effects and CGI. But then you get to like the Terminator movies and it's so blatant CGI, or the Marvel movies, and you're just kind of like, I'm sorry, I know this is CGI. It's kind of taking me out. Does anybody else have that problem?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah. I'm one of those weird people that liked Terminator Dark Fate, except for one part. And that's the entire extreme CGI airplane crash bullshit. It had no point other than it being a spectacle.
I don't remember Dark Fate.
I never saw it.
I like Terminator 3 quite a bit, but it still had major problems.
Yeah, my wife likes that. That's her
like a
favorite.
self-parody of the Terminator franchise at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife enjoys that one. Me, no.
I think Lord of the Rings was kind of like a great apex of using CGI and practical effects. Those were, in 2001, blew my mind. I love when they just push the medium. Like, it doesn't matter whether it's CGI or practical effects, but when they push it, like the original Superman film, when the opening credits expand beyond the point of the curtains that they had, and it just felt huge. Like, now we're watching a movie and not a TV show, and the music, the theme music, fantastic.
Well, remember the tagline back then, too, for Superman. You will believe a man can fly.
Yeah, and they did such a good job. I love the quick cuts that they would do. Like, when the guy's like, that is a bad outfit. And then they do, like, he takes off and they kind of cut it. And then so that they can have the second shot. But the edit gives it the energy that you believe that it's a real shot,
Yeah.
And,
I mean-
they had so little to work with. They just like they worked hard on every single shot, and not every shot holds up, but most of them do. And I just love the effort.
Well, the whole scene in the trailer. Don't worry, miss. I've got you. You got me. Who's got you?
Yeah.
Back when trailers were, I don't know how to explain this, but does anybody besides me think trailers are no longer really pitching anymore?
Yes, because social media spoils everything. There was a time when I was at the movie theater and I see a trailer come out. I was like,
Right.
oh, wow, I want to see this. Now I hear about a movie 7 months ahead before the trailer actually comes out about who's in it, what's it about, story plot lines, what this dressing casting went through. I'm like, I don't want to know all this shit. Can it be like the 90s when I'm at the movie theater, I see a trailer and go, wow, okay, I didn't know this was coming out. Now I want to see this.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that when you have all these comic book movies, like they're all kind of like oversaturating the market with comic book movies. So I started thinking, what is it about comic book movies that I like that's missing? And I just mentioned one, which is the opening of Superman, but the other one is like no scenes actually make me feel anything anymore. Like I was watching a scene from X2, just a little brief moment from X-Men 2, where Pyro is talking to Magneto. And they have this little exchange where Magneto asks him for his name, and he says like meaning your real name, and he there's a thing with the lighter, and Pyro takes the fire from the lighter, and he says, I can only manipulate the fire, I can't create it. But Magneto looks at him and says, you're a god amongst insects. Never let anyone tell you differently. There's so much more emotion in that one brief exchange than a lot of comic book movies. Like I feel chills.
That was in the movie.
But you also had Ian McKellen, who is a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
Sir Ian McKellen, get it right. Honor.
Sir Ian McKellen, yes, I know.
But it's just so great. Like he takes the lighter with his powers, and he says, "What's your real name?" But then when he realizes what he could do, he gives him the lighter physically for respect. And in 1 minute of screen time, they communicated so much between those two characters.
Mercer, there is this comic book. I forgot the name of the title, but it was one of the most impacted comics. It was controversial at the time. It was 7 pages, double pages of Nick Fury doing nothing but action, no words whatsoever.
Right, like Silent Interlude from G.I. Joe issue 21, where the entire issue, G.I. Joe number 21, was no dialogue, no captions, just visual storytelling. It's the most expensive G.I. Joe comic book ever made. It's just Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes and Scarlet are the main characters, and they're doing like a little rescue. If you don't have that issue, get it. It's a collector's item, and it came out in like 1983 or something. Great stuff.
There was a movie I watched. My wife and I watched a few years ago, back when we lived in South Carolina. It was on Netflix, and it was called Hush. And the movie was on $1 million budget. And the point is, this guy's trying to break into a deaf woman's house. Now, that may not sound like much, but the way they edited it, the way they did the silence.
Oh, Hush. I heard. Oh, yeah, okay.
The way they did the silence, the way they did the depth. I mean, you're sitting there watching this movie, and this woman is like, there is somebody banging on the door behind, and she can't hear a damn thing, and it's all quiet. And you're just like, oh, my God.
Well,
it took you on a psychological thriller that you just did not see coming.
I will say, we were talking about Interstellar earlier, and I don't remember who didn't want to watch, but like the one thing I will say is that when they do silence, like you're in space or you're on a ship and there's no noise, if you have the contrast between scenes that have sound and the scenes that don't, Nolan, it's just so exquisite. Like you feel like you're on the ship because there's like a vacuum feeling, like there's sounds on the ship, like there's doors opening and stuff, but you feel like you're in a tight space where there's almost no sound. And I don't know how he got that out of the sound mix, but it just sounds incredible. It feels like you're there.
I can tell you how he did that. Basically, cut all mics and have no audio track. Yeah, basically, you got to cut all mics for a quiet set. You got to have no mics running. You're going to have a quiet scene. You can't even have one audio running. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
what the director
it's
wants.
just it gives you the real
Yeah.
feeling that there's. He doesn't
I
use
love
any
that.
sound in the external shots of the spacecraft. There's no sound at all for the external
Yeah.
shots.
There's no track. There's no music track. No soft music track. Pure quietness.
Yeah.
Silence. Love it.
That's all. I mean, the movie is not just pure spectacle to me. There's a lot of interesting ideas in it, but I don't love it, but I really enjoy it. I really appreciate it. Tenet, I also like, even though it's freaking weird and it doesn't make any sense. I like it.
I have yet to see Tenet.
It's just a really strange.
Yeah, Tenet is another one of the ones I haven't got around to watching. I want to, though.
I'm not watching today.
I just like the way his movies feel more so than what they are. Like I love like I always tell a Nolan shot. Like, by the way, did you know in The Dark Knight Rises, which when they're dedicating the Batman statue at the end and you see the overhead shot of the people around it, it looks like the Joker. And it's a kind of shot that like, because there's a smiley face look to the whole shot. I can send you a picture of it. It's just really cool. But yeah, you can always tell a Nolan film just the way he frames his shots. He's good. Dune is amazing as well. Like Dune Part 1, the way Hans Zimmer's music mixes with those visuals in that movie, incredible.
I haven't seen the remake of Dune yet.
Oh, it's fantastic. Just a really strange movie. Of course, it's not my favorite science fiction movie. I love Cloud Atlas. That's my favorite recent science fiction movie.
That the one with Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not my favorite science fiction movie. I mean, I have to go Star Wars or Wrath of Khan or like old school 80s, anything from the 80s. But from recent films, which is 10 years ago, Cloud Atlas is just really cool. Like I just got it. I don't know. It's a weird movie.
For me and Dune, I just love the fact that Jason Momoa got Duncan Idaho, my favorite character from the book.
He's great.
Near perfect.
And I loved, what's his name? The guy that played Thanos.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. Brolin, yeah. I loved his scene where he's dueling and he's teaching him how to fight with the shields. That was great. That's great stuff.
Well, the thing with Duncan Idaho is, and if I'm not mistaken, Brolin is playing Gurney Alec.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way it always kind of with me is Duncan Idaho is kind of like Paul's older brother, kind of friend and even mentor, whereas Gurney Alec was that cranky uncle everybody knows. Both brought value to Paul in different ways.
I love just like one of my favorite shots is when the Bene Gesserits, that's what they're called, their ship lands, and you don't actually see the ship. You just see the lights from the ship and the trees waving from it. Like you can't make out any detail of the ship itself, but it's so convincing. I just love the fact that they didn't like show you everything. I loved it.
Yeah, honestly, my favorite scene is Duncan Idaho when he's like this. And I was like, I know what's about to come.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I know what's about to come, but I'm like, he's about to do what made me love him so much. That man was going to do everything to protect his Duke. And he took out some.
Sorry, I thought for a second you were going to say something incredibly inappropriate. Sorry.
That was a bad joke.
I thought it was funny because I'm like, for a second there, like, you could tell that man was going to. The way you were saying it sounded like it could have been a setup.
You just put your head in the gutter. That's all. Shit, like I wouldn't have done the same thing.
Well, I haven't seen the new Doom because I was going to wait till the second part came out. Because I figure if I'm going to waste that much time, I might as well waste a lot more.
Well, here's hoping Dune actually comes out on time, with the actors strike and the writer's strike going on.
Well, the good news is I think it was finished already. They're just doing post-production anyway.
Yeah, but you got to remember with the actors on strike, they can't promote the movies.
Yeah, but they don't. They're probably still going to release it on time. I heard. I mean, not many people these days even watch actor tours. They just watch trailers. I think they're going to release it this year or next year because they need something to come out next year. So they're going to put it out before the strike is over, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't think this strike is going to go. I don't know. This has been interesting. I remember the 08 writer strike. That was a whole different world than it is now in 22, 23, and 23. The landscape changed a lot. I remember seeing some news guy saying, well, I guess we'll go back to reality TV. I'm like, why? Back in 07, 08, streaming was relatively new. Nowadays, we've got far more options available to us. We don't need reality TV.
Yeah, cable's basically non-existent now. Everybody's doing streaming services.
Cable TV is about like the modern landline phone. They keep it for businesses.
Yeah.
It's mainly only alive because businesses still need them.
Yeah, now you got Pluto, Tubi, Flex. I mean, you got all this other stuff to watch. Live TV on. YouTube TV has live TV. Like, hey, why do you want cable now?
Dude, I haven't had cable in 8 years.
Yeah, I don't need cable.
It might have been longer.
I just need internet access, and I can watch what I want to watch. So why do I need a cable service? I'm not spending $70 a month to get cable when I can watch everything I want online.
I'm with Gorilla's random thoughts on this. Yes, let them strike. I don't care when it ends.
Yeah, I'm with the strikers on this one. They can strike for as long as they can. I don't care if the studios lose a bunch of money at this point because fuck them.
I don't care. Also, maybe it'll finally, maybe it'll kick out some of the poor quality people we have, and maybe we'll get some quality writers and actors back again.
Well, an FYI to all the people who were hired for General Hospital to write during the strike, their names have been submitted, and they are no longer eligible for life to be a SAG member because you crossed the picket line. You're a scab. Hate to be those guys.
Why?
You can't be a member of SAG.
They work in a soap opera.
So say that again. I'm confused.
Any non-union members who are working during the strike, basically across the picket line, are exempt from ever applying for SAG membership.
So how can they cross the picket line when they're not members of a union? Not members of a union.
If they want to apply for SAG, they cannot because they work during the strike. They cross a picket line.
Okay, what? Okay.
That's a bully method.
I would kind of agree. I don't think that's a good idea because it's going to alienate people that want to join in the future. So
yeah, if you're basically telling a whole group of people, if you work during our strike, remember, keyword, their strike, not their strike, because they're not members of the union. The union's on strike. These members not part of the union are saying, if you work during this, we will never let you in the union.
Yes,
how does that really sound like a pro-union thing?
You're going against the principles of the strike. You're going against the principles.
They're not part of the strike, though.
They're going against the principles of it.
They're not part of the strike. I don't care if it's the principle of the union strike. They're not part of the union. They're not part of the strike. So you're going to punish people who have nothing to do with your strike?
Now, well, hold on. I would agree. One, I agree that they shouldn't be punished, but on principle, they also shouldn't be doing it to begin with.
Exactly.
Because all scabs are doing is they're letting you.
Hey, your principal can take a back seat when I got to put food on the table.
Well, sometimes that matters more. I mean, what's more important, letting your child go hungry today or starve tomorrow?
I never had that problem.
That's what I'm saying. Is right now they're worried about their children starving tomorrow, but they're willing to let them go hungry today.
Not a good plan.
Well, what's the other option?
What's the other option?
If they don't do it, their children
I don't know what the option.
tomorrow.
I don't know. I'm not part of the union. You got to understand. I don't deal with unions. I've never been part of one. I never wanted to be part of one. And based on this shit, I can see why.
I'm, as I said, I'm pro-union, but again, at least most unions, there's at least one union that I can't stand, and I'm not going to mention because I don't want to get into that big rat's nest.
My simple thing is this: when it comes to this right here, if you want to argue principle versus anything else, that's where we got to go with. You're basically saying you're willing to punish these people because they are not following the same principle you want them to follow because you're in the union. And you're saying, well, you didn't do this while you weren't in the union, so we're not going to let you in the union if you ever apply. When you're striking on something that has nothing to do with them. And you're basically blackballing them because they're like, hey, I'm not part of your union. You haven't let me in, so I can work. I'm going to work. I got to put food on the table. And your principle, what are the principles? What is the principle? What is the principle of their strike?
Having
more money?
Well, not only that, also having recognition. Also having residuals that actually, don't screw them over.
Okay, here's my thing with the residuals, because this is one I've been trying to figure out. Where is the logic in getting paid just because some other person is playing the show? You already have been paid to play that character. Why should you get more money for that?
No, let me see if I can explain this to you. Okay,
please do.
It was at the time that the contracts were made. It was said stuff like when this production is sold to a television studio and played on television, each of the people who are under this contract get a certain amount of money out of that deal.
Okay, so that's part of the contract. I get that.
Okay. Netflix is not a television studio as far as the actual television studios are concerned. So they don't get any money from that.
So the argument is streaming versus legacy TV.
Basically, yeah. They're saying that when the previous contracts before television was a thing, or before, the residuals from television were a thing, television was grandfathered into those contracts so that the estates of those actors would still receive residuals from the television broadcasts as if they were already in the contract. Modern day, they're saying streaming and other services don't count, and they're keeping all that money to themselves instead of sharing it with the people who made the money like they were supposed to in the contracts.
Sounds to me like they're using different definitions for the terms of streaming and media.
Exactly.
Or media in general. Sounds to me like they're kind of splitting the hair on, you got your physical media, you got your streaming media. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah. Now,
they're treating streaming media different from physical media.
Physical media, the actor gets a portion of the sales. That's called residuals.
Yes. And they're supposed to get it also from streaming, but the way that the studios wrote the contracts, they're sticking to the letter of the contract saying, well, this movie was made in the 90s and there's no thing in the contract about streaming services. So what does it matter that we're never going to re-release this movie again on a physical copy? We'll keep streaming it, and then you don't get any residuals at all, and we get to keep all the money.
Sounds to me like they're sticking to the letter of the contract and not wanting to update it.
Yeah, but the problem is, let's say a company does want to put out a physical copy of it. The studio can say no, even though, it would make the money, because they would have to give part of that money to the people in the contracts. They would rather not put out a physical copy of something unless they really have to, just so they don't have to give their people who made the movie more money. They would literally rather take a loss than give these people money, the actors and the writers and stuff. That's what they're doing right now. There are so many movies that people have been clamoring for a physical copy of that they're just like, No, fuck those people. We don't care. We can just stream it.
Oh, that's why Disney has been doing a lot of physical releases.
That's exactly.
Yeah, now you see.
Hey, I never said I was against it. I needed the context.
I'm
And do you
trying to
know how
provide
hard
the
it has
context.
been to find context on this shit? By people with actual intelligence?
And
Yes,
when
like I just called you and Elihu intelligent. You might want to clip that because it'll probably never happen again.
yeah, what the hell is, dude? You're sober. What the hell is wrong with your vocabulary, man?
No, but I mean, seriously, the residuals, I've been trying to find information out about this shit to understand it better. Because I was like, okay, is this a contract thing? Is it something written in the contracts? Because that's a whole that changes everything.
Well,
Okay,
get this.
well, let me
get this, NB
do
Geek.
this. When,
Hang on, Mike.
in the 1980s, when Reagan was actually in charge of it. Am I roboting?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for now. I'll be back in a bit.
Take care, Captain.
Thanks. Talk to you soon. It's great
Yeah,
talking to you.
Mercer.
Keep Bordis out of the holodeck.
Oh, I'll be sure, and I'll be sure to keep Yaphet out from his buffet table. Talk to you
Sorry,
soon.
And
when I
don't
was
let
trying to post this thing
Clyde
to
don't let
Twitter,
Clyde have a cigarette.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, seriously, this has been an area I've been trying to get some information on, and it's been, well, if I'm being honest, very difficult to try and find.
Well, NB, another aspect of the strike is if you happen to watch the strike basically happens like continues to go without any negotiations. Agatha's House of Coven, that new spin-off show for WandaVision, you might see some extras in the background who are not even going to get paid because their physical likeness, body, and face were digitally scanned, according to Disney insiders, to be used for future projects, like
Yeah, you
Agatha House of
see-
Covens.
Yeah, you see, that is where I've been kind of like, I'm not so sure I'm that sympathetic on. Okay, I understand principal characters, but backgrounds and extras, I'm sorry, man. I hate to tell you all this. Technology has replaced a lot of jobs, and that job there ain't that important.
Well, you know, Nicolas Cage did not get one penny for a CGI face in The Flash.
I didn't even know he was in The Flash.
The CGI likeness face, that was Nicolas Cage. He did not get paid for that.
I did not even, I haven't watched The Flash.
That's kind of fucked up.
This is what about residuals
Yeah,
and
I'm
digitally
sorry. I think that's
scanned
kind of
people,
fucked
okay?
up.
Now I remember this. There is something here. Like when I was doing the Star Wars EU, when I was really bitten.
Sorry, I don't think Helen Slater even got paid.
We actually found that there was something that I found out that the reason why the characters on the covers don't look like they're real life persons now is because their likeness rights were only for that time. So they can't make them look exactly like on the books the way they really look now because they don't have the likeness rights to those. So likeness rights are only good to a certain point, as I understand them.
Unless it's written into the contract. If it's a likeness, if it says if no specified date period, then somebody 65 years old can still claim the likeness of them as an image of a 30-year-old.
Yeah, but seriously, how am I supposed to feel sympathy for the extras and the background characters?
Well, how about the extras that make their living off that?
Yeah.
Like Elihu, Philip O'Reilly, friends of the channel.
I don't know. I don't know which one may tell about it. Unfortunately, I'm just saying reality is technology does replace jobs. It's
Okay.
happened to all of us. The
Hold on,
acting
NB,
world, the entertainment
let me-
world
let
is
me-
not
hold on,
any. The
NB.
entertainment world is unfortunately not any different.
NB, let me put it to you this way. You and I both use, actually all three of us use Yitzy's avatars on a
Yes.
for our stuff, right?
Yes.
Now, Yitzy doesn't own our face.
No.
Now, imagine, we I turn on my camera and I show my actual face. Because Yitzy drew my face once, does that give him the right to sue me for showing my face on the internet without his permission?
No, obviously not.
Okay, the whole part of when they're talking about these digital scans, it literally means you cannot show your face on media anymore or they will sue you.
Now, see, that part I did not know.
That's part of the issue that they're having right now is if Disney owns the likeness to your face, you can't show your face on media anymore. That means
Now, see, I did not know that part.
It's like, have you ever heard of the stories like when a certain celebrity gets sued for posting their own picture on Instagram or something?
Believe it or not, no.
Kind of like Metallica got a strike for playing their own music on YouTube. I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see some. Oh, I saw something like that happen to Pauly, Latino Slant.
Yeah.
Where he had a musician on his channel, and she was playing her music while she is on the channel live, and YouTube strikes it.
I know, that was funny as shit.
And then it comes back on. It's like YouTube. I am giving him permission.
I am here singing this song.
I am here. I am giving permission. We're all like, what? You remember that, Elihu? I know you remember that one.
Yeah.
But there are, because of certain copyright laws, there have been people who posted their own picture or picture of themselves to the internet and got sued for it because the person who took the photo owns the rights to that photo. Even though the person
owning the rights to a photo. Okay, I can see here. They're trying to argue owning the rights to that photo means they own the likeness rights.
Exactly, and that's basically what Disney is trying to argue, saying that if you are in one of our films and we own the likeness to or we have the scans of your face and we're using it to make money, you're not allowed to use it to make money anymore.
Okay.
Because we own it. That's what they're basically saying.
Okay, I can see where. Okay, based on that. No, Mike, it's very simple. Like I said, I had no context to go off of. It's been very hard to find this stuff.
Basically, you're bootlegging their property.
Okay, I don't like bootlegging. Moonshining, fine, but bootlegging.
That's the proper term. You're bootlegging their property.
Now, bootlegging our property means we create our own shit.
Sorry, I'm just trying to. Oh, am I not?
But yeah, I didn't know about that part. That where they were saying is, I didn't know it was, hey, we scan you, you can't work again. That's that's fucked up. Okay,
they've already used it against one YouTuber so far that I know of. I wish I could remember the freaking name of the YouTuber. No, it wasn't YouTuber. It was Twitch person, saying that because they were doing something on one of their programs and stuff that they are not allowed to be on Twitch or YouTube or anything else with their own face.
I find it very difficult to believe that could be in the contract.
It's not. That's the whole point. But they're saying it doesn't matter if it's in the contract or not. They own the scans. They want to make money off the scans. If they own the scans and making money off of it, you shouldn't be allowed to make money off of your own face because they're already using your face to make money.
For example,
I thought you had to sign away.
No.
So what they're saying is, okay, if I'm understanding this correctly, what they're saying is,
Elihu, let him talk first.
Okay.
So what I'm understanding is, hey, we're gonna come in, we're gonna pay you for half a day, we're gonna scan your likeness, you're gonna sign this, and we own the rights to your likeness from here on out. Is that the breakdown of what you're saying?
Except they're not telling them we own the likeness to your face anymore.
Well, yeah, that would kind of be a big deal to know.
It's like in the first Avengers movie. They could not have an image of Spider-Man because they did not own the image.
No, they couldn't have Spider-Man because
that-
they didn't
No,
have the
Elihu,
license
that
rights
is
because
completely different. That is like
yeah, that is a completely
They didn't
different
have the
thing.
rights to it. They didn't have the rights to Spider-Man.
it's like think of more of that great fantastic movie, The Scorpion King.
Oh,
Not
shit.
not-
The CG bad CGI shit.
Yeah. Now imagine Universal when they put out that movie with that craptastic digital scan of The Rock's face.
I think you're thinking of the Mummy 2.
Sorry, The Mummy 2, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what
the
I'm talking about.
Scorpion King was I think came out
After.
Yeah, after it was a prequel.
Now imagine that after that movie came out, every time that The Rock was in another film with his own real face that isn't digitally scanned, Universal sued the movie company that made that movie, saying that we own The Rock's face.
Good luck trying to claim that's The Rock's face. That was literally I think that was literally. I think we all universally agreed that was the worst CGI of that decade.
That's the worst CGI in a movie ever, period, okay?
That shit was bad.
The second top is Mark Ruffalo's floating head in Avengers Endgame. But that was the worst, okay? Oh my gosh.
God, that shit was terrible. Oh my God. Actually, let's be honest. If we're talking about The Mummy 2, the CGI quality took a nosedive in the second movie. Big time.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how they managed to screw it up so freaking much.
Of course.
I mean, they had such a good, decent. The CGI in the first one ages pretty well, for the most part, except for. Okay, going from the practical effect of the mummification to the CGI, that one I will say was kind of. I was like, why did you do that? But yeah, that second movie, it was just like, God dang, man.
Really? Stop it. Every time my computer is having issues trying to post stuff to eBay and do the stream at the same time. So maybe this idea wasn't the best.
Yeah, multiple tabs open. Yeah, it kind of goes down your system.
Yeah, speaking of movies,
because I've got OBS running to share the screen. I've got StreamYard, Streamlabs, eBay. I've got my computer files open so I can see what picture I need to work on. The picture tab, and I guess it's too much for this computer to handle.
Closing tabs.
I can't. I'm using all of them.
On an interesting note, I'm surprised. My daughter's actually going to go see Barbie with a friend of hers. I was just kind of surprised. I didn't think my daughter would be interested. Thought my wife would be more interested.
I saw Barbie.
I haven't. I have no intention of seeing Barbie. I don't care. But if my kids or Mrs. Vile forces me to watch it, I will watch it.
Look, I'm not. Look, I have nothing to say about the movie. It's a chick flick. That's it. It's not for me. It's just reality.
Yeah, one of the funniest parts though about the whole Barbenheimer thing that they were talking about.
Oh yeah.
I was like, so let me get this straight. Straight white male in his mid-40s. You're not going to go see a chick flick meant for teenage girls, and instead you're going to go see a movie about a communist scientist.
And
I just don't see that. It's not. I'm like, I just don't see that type of person who wouldn't see Barbie also being the same type of person that would go see Oppenheimer.
Because it's made for two completely different people.
Yeah, but neither one of those is the type of person that's complaining about Barbie.
I mean, what's the point of complaining about it?
Oh, you haven't heard that because there's a trans character in it that's automatically a devil-made movie?
I I just what I read about the movie, I didn't get the impression it's a woke movie. I got the impression it was more of a girl empowering movie, and this whole thing about all the Barbies being in the positions of power in Barbie world. I'm like, I grew up in the 90s and I grew up in the 80s. I remember Barbies being on commercials and all the different things they had Barbie as: astronaut, president, scuba diver, pilot, you name it. So it's kind of like, okay, so it fits within the narrative. I can't really find myself bashing a movie that's, going to go the route that I would expect it to go for girls.
Well, I love how Pearl's daughter had a cameo. That was pretty cool.
Who did?
Pearl, the creator of Barbie, her daughter actually had a cameo in the movie. I love that.
Yeah, her daughter's one of the inspirations for the name of Barbie because her name is Barbara.
Barbara, yeah, she had a cameo, and I love that. I'm like,
But there's-
I recognized her.
Oh,
Now
okay.
that's
I
that's
didn't know.
also Mattel's official opinion, but there's also another idea that one of the other co-creators named it after his ex-wife, who was also named Barbara.
Yeah, it was a daughter. Come on.
So it could be
Eh,
both.
Like I said, but who knows? I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, it's not a movie for me, but I really don't see it being a movie I'm going to worry about bitching about.
I actually kind
I
of
don't
enjoyed
care.
it.
It's not a movie made for me. You know what also is a movie not made for me? All the Hallmark Christmas movies. You know what I don't do? Complain about them. I don't watch them.
Hey, good thing that strike is going on because this is the time they're normally made. You don't have to worry about Christmas movies this year, dude.
Oh, the best thing about the writer's strike was late night TV is off. Man, geez, I don't have to listen to those angry, overpaid fucks.
Oh, see, I love the well, I like their opening monologues. I don't watch anything else.
Yeah, the opening monologue, not written by them.
I miss Oliver.
I don't have a, but that's the only part I actually like.
I miss John Oliver.
Oh,
But,
you would. You
I
would
like
miss
John
John
Oliver, too.
Oliver.
I like how he actually goes in depth and he does shit to actually piss people off and spends money, even if it's against HBO's wishes.
I know.
It's gotten to the point where I think he doesn't even contact his producers. He just contacts the legal department to ask if they can. I'm sorry. I love that kind of shit.
Dude, I see his face. He looks like he belongs in a fishbowl.
He does. That's what he says. He makes fun of himself all the time.
Yeah.
His haircut, his nose, his glasses. Yeah, the dude always makes fun of himself. It's like, this is why did I choose this high school photo of me as my profile picture?
I don't think he's very good.
And for those that don't know what Yvette's talking about,
oh yeah, I saw
said,
that
earlier. She said, "Good evening, Mike, and everyone cooking dinner, listening." Oh, and Mike, thank you for the video. The latest not Kinder Egg video, because it involved Kinder Eggs this time, was her suggestion on one of the CNA streams about eating McDonald's in Mexico.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't a triple X. It wasn't a triple X video, guys. There are 3 X's, but it wasn't a triple X video.
I don't think most of these people even know what a triple X is anymore.
But it was mouth porn.
I don't think most people nowadays even know X meant porn.
Really? You've never been to xvideos.com or xxx.com?
No, I generally go to Tube8, Pornhub, and RedTube.
Well, RedTube, I believe, is owned by Xvideos.
Xvideos, man.
You guys talking about Elon Musk's video platform?
Yeah.
No, if Elon Musk was going to do a porn site, it would be higher quality.
Oh, no. It would. If Elon Musk made one, he would buy an existing one, change its name, and then claim he actually made it.
Oh, capitalism at its finest.
He's claiming he's working out of the office, getting ready for that fight with Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that flashing X is gone.
I saw one. I saw this one video. I was just skimming through, and I just thought it was so hilarious. The responses was somebody goes, "How come there hasn't been a Gen X president?" And I'm just sitting there thinking, "Oh God, you don't want that."
35 years old or older.
I'm like,
Come on,
"Oh my God, do you
Constitution.
really want a latchkey kid?" I'm like, seriously, do you want a latchkey kid as president? Are you out of your mind? Do you have any idea how many chips on our shoulders we'd love to knock off?
It could happen.
Oh, I'm telling you what, if
Oh,
it does
shit.
happen, God help the Department of Education, because we got some issues
Yvette,
we want
you
to have
beat
to
me to
talk with
it.
them about.
I don't see her come up link. Oh, it's not Ryan Johnson's in here.
And how you doing? Yeah. Burger, fries, and nugget video. Yep.
Correct yourself, dude. Orally nugget video.
Yes, I stick it all in my mouth.
Yeah, was it really that greasy?
I'm so glad I have so few subscribers and no one's going to clip that out.
Were those nuggets really that greasy?
Well, what the only issue is when you're talking about the whole latchkey kid thing, NB, eventually the oldest people are going to be Gen X. So we're going to have a Gen X or a Gen millennial soon.
Well, I don't know, man. Let's put it this way.
Hang on a
If
second.
you want to know who's running the country, 65 of your senators are boomers and 197 are in the House of Representatives. Just letting you know. That's a generation running the place right now.
So, yeah, but I think a president will eventually be a Gen Xer. I mean, it's just inevitable.
You know what? If I'm being completely honest, I don't think so. I think we're going to just bow out of that one, and it's going to end up being a millennial. I just don't see it happening. I don't see a latchkey fuck around and find out. You got to remember, man, we're also the smallest generation here. There are more boomers than there are Gen X. There are more shit ton more millennials than there are us.
Well, remember, I'm also in that millennial Gen X cusp. I was a latchkey kid myself, but I'm technically a millennial if you go by strict definition.
You were born what, 82?
84.
You're what we call the Gen XC or whatever. Look, that 81 to 84 thing has kind of always been, we've been still trying to figure out how to work with that one. We don't really see you guys as millennials. 1985, yeah, that's millennial. Kind of want to grandfather you 81 to 84s in. We've been having meetings about it.
Well, as I said, my entire thing was, I say I qualify for the Zillennial, which is that half millennial, half Gen X, because I went through both things a lot. As I said, I was a latchkey kid. I had a key to my house in the 2nd grade, and I walked to school despite it being 2 or 3 miles away, or I rode my bike.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Sounds about
Obama
right.
was born in 61. Does 61 count as Gen X? I don't know. I think it does.
What was that again? Who was born when?
Obama.
No, that's Boomer. Baby Boomer is 46 to 64. Gen X is 65 to 80.
Okay, so he's just on the cusp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like for example, I was born in 79. I am the baby Gen X. My entire family, all my kids are millennials, all my kids are Gen Z, and they range from 22 to almost 13 now. So
I'm Gen X. I even have a Jeff Nerdy game for Gen X when Mike gets his computer back.
Well,
so actually, by the way, just to give you a heads up.
Sorry, I got a bunch of them saved up. I could probably do it from this computer, but I'd need a really good signal, and I want to wait till I get a hard line set up for the house. Because,
Ryan Johnson, you young whippersnapper, get off my lawn!
But millennials, you're all 27 to 42 now, so fun time's over, guys. Time for y'all to man up. And Gen Z, just FYI, you have just hit 26, so you're age 26 to 11. So some of y'all got your brains fully developed.
Yeah, I'm going to be 48 in less than 20 days.
Oh, she's going by my standards. She's going a little bit by the standards there. Actually, millennials stop at 1996. Gen Z is 97 to 12.
Every generation is supposed to be 20 years, but because it's based around technological and societal levels, they've been coming a little bit more quickly.
Every 6 months?
Pretty much.
No, so you got the silent generation that is 28 to 45. You have the boomers 46 to 64. You have the Gen X, we have 65 to 80, the millennials 81 to 96, Gen Z 97 to 12.
Wait, am I a boomer or Gen
12
X?
is about when Wi-Fi came out.
Am I a boomer or Gen X?
What year were you born?
75.
You're Gen X.
You're Gen X.
I
You're
feel
Gen
like a
X.
boomer.
No, you're not a boomer.
I feel like one.
All right. Yvette
Okay.
wants me to watch the video. I'm going to mute myself just in case. So I'm going to go watch this video real quick.
Jaloja.
I got a lot of gray hair. I'm a boomer. Wait a minute. MB Geek went Jaloja. Vilemike muted himself. So you guys get to stuck listening to me? Well, fun. Lucky you. He couldn't be nice enough to bring somebody else up here. Look at this. See how Mike is? I know he's probably not even listening to me.
Well, no one's clamoring to come up right now.
I thought you muted him. Ignoring this channel so you can watch the video. Unless Yvette wants to come up. But I don't know what happened to LVG. Yeah, guys, Pickles was up here earlier. We didn't say the P word. Go figure. It was my favorite coffee shop. They are like Starbucks, but
Sorry,
better.
I'm stopping certain things. I'm trying to get to the link, but StreamYards won't let me open the link, so I got to open it up in my own freaking video.
Why don't I just play you to streamline mine?
Oh fuck!
Do that. You are still recovering from what?
All right, hold on.
I'm always recovering, but what am I recovering from this time?
Oh, you want to hear something interesting about all those numbers I spit out a minute ago? Just for shits and giggles, I did the political breakdown. Strangely enough, guys, believe it or not, there's not much of a divide between any of the generations. It's pretty much well split. I was actually surprised by that.
I think he's still watching a video.
Yeah. I was talking to you.
Ah.
I figured he was still watching. No, I just thought it was interesting. I would have thought you would think the political divide during the generations would have been, maybe a wider gap, but strangely enough, it's about pretty much the same.
Yeah. Oh, I need new screens. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Oh, by the way, just to let you know, Elihu, there is one Gen Z in the House of Representatives right now.
AOC.
I don't know. I don't know when she was born. No, can't be her. This person's 26. Or this person's, this person's 26.
Oh. Okay.
AOC, I think, is 34.
Oh.
Wait,
I think
so
she's 34.
Yvette, you're boycotting the coffee place and not the Times, because after watching that video, I'm like, I don't want to watch the Times anymore because the guy on there is a fucking asshole. The guy reporting it is his whole thing is like, well, you know, you got the scars, you got the blue hair, not a white person. And I'm just like, wow, dude. It's like, just because it has all that, you're complaining. Maybe you need to come up and explain why you don't like it. Because I'm more pissed about the Times guy because he sounds like a dumbass.
I didn't see the video. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's about a coffee company that put a mural on one of their delivery vans showing a trans person with mastectomy scars.
Okay.
But yeah, I had to stop through like halfway or less than halfway through the video because the guy is just sounds like a prick. So after watching that, I'd rather boycott the Times.
I hate Spanish. It's amazing Mexico.
I know. It's the delivery guys. They come around to sell stuff with their speakers.
Yeah. I know that was not a racist derogatory term because I know Mike is in Mexico.
Yep, I am in Mexico this time.
Sorry, it's cutting out my pipe.
So what was this whole thing? What's this whole thing about?
Okay, she said it's the scars from this mastectomy encouraging transgender, not thinking about women who have had to go through it because of cancer. Well, here's the thing, Yvette.
They don't care.
Yeah, it's the reasoning, or it's the same type of surgery for different reasons. Well, that's what it is.
Okay, I don't see how.
Oh,
she's telling you, Elihu, that she's still recovering from the bacterial meningitis.
Oh, okay, good. I'm saying okay. I'm a little confused there.
That nearly. Oh my God.
Yeah, I knew you were in the hospital. You were
nearly.
Sick.
Oh my God, that thing. Yeah. I ain't heard too many people who survived that. But on your thing, Mike, how are they the same kind of treatment?
Oh, it's the same surgery, but the reasons behind the surgery are two different things.
One is medical, one is cosmetic.
Exactly.
As long as we're in agreement on that.
Yeah. And let's face it, the women who have to have it for, cancer reasons, they're doing, they're still women. The whole point of getting it for a transgender person is so that their, physical body matches their preferred gender.
So it makes it easier for them to pretend.
No, it's easier for them to identify. It's not pretend.
If they want to pretend, they wouldn't go through it. It's like pretending to be a pirate on a Halloween. You're not going to cut out your eye. You're just going to put a eye patch and just pretend you're a pirate. That's pretending. You don't want to go through the whole process just to pretend something. You want to be comfortable with who you are. It's like women having plastic surgery. They have a bad nose. Okay, they fix their nose. Now they're comfortable with who they are.
Well, think of it like this.
You guys do know you are never going to get me on board this. Hold
on, Envy. Say someone gets rhinoplasty.
That's what I just said.
One person gets it to correct a medical problem because they have deviated septum and they can't breathe at night. The other one person just wants their nose to be smaller. Should the person who has
one is medical, one is medical, one is medical, one is cosmetic, one is medically required, one is a choice.
Should the person who gets it for cosmetic reasons be shamed by not showing their nose in public.
What does shaming have to do with anything? I'm
Well,
not talking
what,
about
that's
shaming.
what it sounds like to me. Is that there's shame in having a mastectomy to become male if you're female, originally female.
Because I don't agree with it.
Why?
Why don't I agree with it? Because unfortunately, no amount of surgery is going to change the fact that you cannot scientifically become the opposite sex. It's just impossible. It's as
Yeah,
simple
but
as
you can
that.
change. Why can't you change your gender though?
Why can't I change my gender?
Gender and sex aren't the same thing.
I can change my name. Okay,
Hold on.
what are we talking about as far as gender?
Gender
Okay,
is a social definition.
let's break that one down.
Sex
Okay,
is
let's
a
no,
scientific or
seriously,
medical
let's
definition.
He's trying to break it down.
let's break that one down. Let's break that one down, guys. All right. What is the difference between sex and what is the difference between gender?
All right, let me put it this
I'm
way.
asking you guys.
All right, let me put it this way. Makeup salesman. Is makeup salesman a gendered job? Or by salesman, I'm using men in the colloquial sense, not in the gendered sense.
It says person.
You're asking about an occupation.
Yes, but what gender should be working that position?
What? There's no specific gender or sex that should be that position. Now, if we're going to talk traditionally, we could argue and say that would be currently a women's role, but I can also take that and say, let's remember up until a certain point in time, medical roles were not women dominated roles. They were actually male dominants. In fact, the idea of a female nurse was considered abhorrent. So traditional
you understand that certain
Not talking tradition, though. Not talking tradition.
Because we have found that what is one thing we know? Women are more nurturing than men are going to be.
NB, I have to interrupt you. The question was not
what
about
I'm saying
tradition.
is
He
that
just
there are
stated.
certain-
Hang on, Mike. The question was not about tradition. He just said you basically walk in, you see somebody behind the makeup counter selling makeup. What gender? Who is that person? That's what he asked. Not about tradition, but who is that person?
I don't know who that person is. I've never met him. That's my point.
Man or woman?
I've never met this person. I don't know anything about them, and I'm not going to remember anything about them after I purchase.
Who is that person selling? A man or a woman?
I don't know.
You don't know who's selling makeup?
Work at a makeup counter. I've seen men and women at a makeup counter.
That's what he's asking.
So I'm failing to see where we're going here.
That's what he's asking.
We're talking about an occupation.
Now let's take it to something that's traditionally seen as a masculine.
No, let's not take it what something is traditionally. Let's not talk about the occupation.
You just talked about traditionally, Andy.
You
just talked about it, though.
Was going off.
Hold on.
I was simply going off of what the context he said.
I know.
I'm trying to make here is why are we
you want to talk about
these?
Tradition, and he does, and you want to talk about
No,
tradition.
I don't actually want to talk about tradition.
You were just talking about
actually,
tradition.
I don't want to talk about tradition because tradition, Elihu, traditions change over time. Do they not?
Then why did you bring up the traditionally example of?
Because I was pointing out that I was pointing out at one time that certain roles that are now female dominated were once men dominated. It was a traditional role for men that is now a traditional role for women. I was pointing out that traditions do change. And that there is no to say it's like the term, and I'm not trying to use a fallacy, but I am going to point this out. It's like when I hear the term traditional marriage. And I'm like, what are you defining your term traditional marriage?
Depends on how far back you go.
Exactly, Mike. That's exactly what I was saying there. That's why when you brought up the job, I was saying, okay, you're going off of what is in my opinion, the way I'm interpreting what you said is you're going off of what is we would normally traditionally interpret now. But the point, as I was trying to say, is, well, traditions have changed depending on the time of when we lived those things.
Gorilla, why does the man have to be gay? Can a straight man work at a makeup counter?
Yes.
I'm just asking this question on this comment that he put up there.
No, I'm giving you a straight answer.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. I agree. That's why I just asked him.
Yeah.
Just because a job is considered quote unquote feminine does not mean a gay man is the only person that should be working that job. It could be anybody.
Well, we can take the role of the traditional daycare worker. Most of them are female, but I have seen some very good men who do well in that role. And actually, a lot of times they are looked up to by the boys because that is the only male figure they are seeing at the daycare.
I would honestly agree with you there, because when I was a kid, my daycare provider was a guy. I still remember him. His name was Walter. He owned a bunch of tortoises and turtles that we weren't allowed to play with, but we were allowed to feed. He even got my brother into drinking iced tea, because he would make iced tea just for my brother. And they would sit down on the porch, like, you'd see in an old Western film, and they would drink iced tea. And it was like one of the cutest things you'd ever see. This old man and this young boy just drinking iced tea, both in rocking chairs, sitting on their porch.
Now, you see, I could see that because that is kind of an image I would picture of like when I would see my great grandfather, and the old man and the rocking chairs and everything like that. I can definitely see where you're coming from. And sometimes, yes, you're going to find males that are very good in those roles. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be. But like we said, it goes into, well, now traditionally, those are these roles. Well, will that be the case in 150 years from now? I don't know. I won't be alive to be able to tell you.
But the problem with sticking with a certain sex or gender in those roles can be a disservice to society, correct?
Yes, I never said that any of them should be. I've never suggested an occupation should necessarily be that way. Now, there are times when I will say, being in the military, and Mike, I know you probably can understand this, there is such a thing as acceptable discrimination. For example, you can be too tall to do a job.
Unfortunately, yes.
Too short, or what?
I said, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, you can be too tall for a job. You can be too short for a job. In my case, my eyesight prevented me from being able to take certain jobs, But as far as, whether you're male or female, and I actually got into okay, do you guys know who Michael Knowles is?
No.
The name sounds familiar.
He's a conservative on Daily Wire. I generally tend to agree with him on stuff. He talked about women in combat roles in the military, and I pissed off a lot of people on my side when I told him he needs to shut the fuck up about things he knows nothing about.
Sorry, I just
well, my wife is a combat vet, and I don't like it because people use that term combat, and everybody automatically they paint it like it's infantry.
Yeah.
And that's
you can be a medic and still be a combat vet, but people don't think about that firsthand.
Exactly. Just because you're behind the wire, it's like the guy said, "Oh, so your wife was just behind the wire?" Yeah, just behind the wire while Al Qaeda was firing RPGs at the wire on a regular basis to get people to go out so they could kill them. I said,
it was like, I want to say it was part of some documentary I was watching on YouTube about combat pilots. Yeah. And there was one about this female helicopter pilot in Afghanistan. Now, all she did was fly supplies back and forth in a big ass, one of the double bladed, you know what I'm talking about? Cargo copters?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But occasionally she would get shot at. So she got a medal for, being shot at essentially and surviving. And people were complaining in the comments about why was a woman pilot being put in a combat scenario? She didn't deserve it. And I'm just like, she was still being shot at. She was just doing her fucking job.
She was still in the military like anybody else. Shut the fuck up.
So yeah, for example, yeah, my wife was behind the wire a lot of the time. She was in Afghanistan. Guess what? She did have to leave that wire a few times. And that wire was not Teflon. It wasn't impervious. It could have been overrun at any point. So yeah, that's one area where I literally started the video. I said, all right, you want to see what happens when a conservative goes after another conservative? I said, here you go.
Well, to get back on the trans issue,
yeah,
the whole point about it I have is your biological sex, one, that is a spectrum as well. I know most people like to say it is flatly a binary one or the other, but even in the United States, 1 out of every 100 birth is an intersex person on some level.
Yeah, those are called anomalies.
It's still 1 out of 100.
I don't think it's quite that high.
Again,
I would have to look it up, but I'm not going to say you're wrong. I would have to look it up.
It's based on certain things, like certain anatomical or DNA markers. I mean, you could have, it could be something as simple as a male being born with a certain kind of mitochondria, because most mitochondria, the DNA is passed through the mother.
Mm-hmm.
If you have, some sort of problem with your mitochondria that's not necessarily passed through the mom, then you're considered intersex, even though it has nothing to do with your baseline DNA. You understand what? So it's a very broad spectrum of what they're qualifying as intersex, because it just qualifies for anything that deviates from the norm.
Okay.
So gender itself is a very fluid concept when it comes to traditional gender roles, as we've just gone through. So I don't have a problem with someone changing their gender. It has no effect on me. Even when my kids date transgender people, as long as that person makes my kid happy, I'm not going to complain about it, because they're making my kid happy. And the fact that that person's trans has no effect on me.
Well, that's where you and I are going to have to differ on that one.
Why?
Because I view this as a mental disorder, and one that is being celebrated, and I don't agree with that.
Okay, but say it is a mental disorder. How do you fix it?
Oh boy. If I had the answer to that, I wouldn't be in therapy on a regular basis. Do you know how hard it is to get my? Do you know how hard it is to get my VA doctor? Okay, I have to wait 6 weeks to 2 months between visits. That's just the reality of the VA. But as far as fixing mental health, oh my God, yeah, I don't know, man. I couldn't fix most of my family's mental health, so I don't have the answer to that.
So hold on, NB. Elijah wants to bring up something.
Yeah, NB, there was a time when homosexuality was considered a mental illness disease. Do you remember that? Do you remember hearing about that?
Of course I remember hearing about that. I never agreed with her because it never made any sense to me. Here's why it never made any sense to me.
Hang on, let me finish this.
But here's why it never made any sense to me.
These people who claimed this were doctors, psychiatrists, people on the left and on the right. They always claim that, this is a mental illness. It's not a mental illness.
And you wonder why I don't trust people when they say trust a scientist, because I know scientists can be just as unethical and moral as anybody else.
But the thing about science, at least, NB, is science is self-correcting and it evolves over time. I'm using the colloquial sense of evolution or evolve in that point. I'm not referring exactly to the theory of evolution.
How about the center of the Earth? The Earth used to be considered scientific.
No, Elihu, stop. You're going way off track again. Let's not do that. Now, hold on. NB, you're a military guy. You'll like this one, okay? back in World War I, when people were suffering from what we call today as post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes.
Okay, back then, before World War I, and we started calling it battle fatigue and or shell shock, you know what it was called?
I forgot the name.
Cowardice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right there.
That's why
So-
Patton slapped the guy.
Yeah, so would you be okay with someone today seeing someone with post-traumatic stress disorder and just going up to the person, beating the crap out of them and calling them a coward for it and saying that's the solution? Or should we give them proper mental health treatment?
Well, I believe that we should give everybody the proper mental health treatment they need, obviously.
Okay,
I mean,
now,
I'm not exactly. You got to remember, man. You're not gonna. I'm gonna agree with you on that. Everybody should get the mental health therapy they need. Trust me, if we did better on our mental health,
okay,
we'd have
now,
we'd have a lot less problems in this country.
now I'm gonna let's say I suffer from a form of body dysmorphia where I hate the way my ears look.
All right, I'm
Hold on.
gonna simply put it this way. Hold on a second, Mike.
No, Andy,
Here's
let
the
me
thing.
can I?
Yeah,
can I
sure
finish?
thing. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Let's say I hate the way my earlobes hang down so low. Now, would you suggest that the solution, according to my therapist, should be I should get over it and accept my body for who it is, or should I just have my earlobes cut to fit what I prefer?
I would say if those are the only two issues your doctor are giving you, you need a new fucking doctor.
Well, isn't there what other solution would there be if I can't? There's either I accept my body. As
I
it
don't
is,
know. I don't
or
know.
change my
You're
body to fit my
giving a
mental
very I don't know, because you're giving just a scenario without a shit ton of context to it. And that's why I always say context matters. Now, here's my thing here. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Mike. When it comes to how I feel about the trans community, you're right. It overall mainly wouldn't affect me. And I would not care if I was not being forced to be told my views are wrong and that if I don't conform. See, the difference is I never had a problem with this. I would have let this shit go long ago and never cared. But when you shove shit down somebody's throat, it's going to be like, okay, I'm going to give my 2 cents on it.
All right. So
And then you can't sit here and shove something down somebody's throat, and then when they give their opinion that is disagreeing, tell them to shut up. It doesn't work that way.
now, Plan B. I'm going to take what you just said, and I'm going to shift it over a little bit to another perspective. Okay. Now, let's say that this is the 1980s, or maybe the 1970s, because I can't remember when some of these shows came out. Now, you've been hearing in the 1960s about the whole civil rights movement. And suddenly Hollywood is putting out shows like Webster, like Cosby Show. They're forcing Black culture onto us. They're shoving it down our throats. And I don't like that.
No, that's not what they were doing. I disagree. I don't see how that's the thing went.
Okay, explain to me how it's different from having a Black character on a show and having a transgender character on the show.
Because back then, if you said you didn't like the Cosby Show, you were not automatically accused of being racist. If you said you didn't like a show that, like, for example, I'll give you one example. There was, what was it? Was it the Wonder Years? It was the one with Alec P. Keaton, Michael J. Fox when he first started. Family Matters. Remember, since you brought up the 80s, let's remember the fucking AIDS scare and how fucked up that was.
Hang on. Can I say something real fast?
Go ahead.
Okay. Mike, I don't want you to answer this one, okay? Andy, imagine there was no television show that was ever created like this before, and all of a sudden, there was a show about 2 guys who found a great deal in an apartment, but they had to dress up as women to live there. Oh no, transgenderism, they're shoving it down our face. What would you think about that?
I would think you are taking what I'm saying and going way too far with it.
No, because they have transgender.
What I was actually going to say was when I was talking about the AIDS scare back in the 80s, I remember very clearly on that episode of Family Matters that it was dealing with a young boy about my age who had AIDS. And this was the first time we had actually ever seen a TV show that I remember that actually told us how this thing got transmitted.
You're talking about Ryan White?
And that it wasn't what we were being told. That was the power of that media back then. Now, as far as the Cosby Show and Webster and different strokes and stuff like that, yes, they actually came out and they were successful because people watched them. People were engaged in them. People loved them across...
Now, hold on. But
you said you were tired of people being the idea of trans being shoved down your throat. And I gave you a scenario of a TV show that just happened to come out. What would be your opinion on that?
Yes, it's a TV show. I'm not talking about the TV show.
What about the people?
Principle of it.
Elihu, I want to ask a question real quick. NB, what about the people who complained at the time saying that there was too many black shows or these shows shouldn't exist because they didn't want the civil rights stuff being shoved down their throats? Or
I don't know. I never heard any of that stuff. I never heard that.
But it
never
was
heard it.
happening.
I never heard that in the 80s and I never heard that shit in the 80s and 90s.
I'm telling you though, it was happening. I just
it may have been happening, but I did not. It may have been happening, but I didn't hear about it. I wasn't in that.
When I was a kid, I was like 5 years old watching or going on message boards for friggin' Star Trek and how people were complaining about LeVar Burton being on the show just because he's black.
That's the quote unquote token black guy.
The only thing I remember okay, and I'll tell you what I remember people talking about LeVar Burton. Holy shit, we got the guy from Reading Rainbow on Star Trek.
Of course,
I don't know what camps. I'm going to tell you right now, Mike. I don't know what camps you were fishing around in those days, but they were not the same places I was.
Old school Trek BBS.
Yeah, well, whatever you were in was not the same areas I was in. Because all this shit you're talking about, I've been all over this country. I never saw it until
I heard this at
the
school.
late 90s.
I heard this conversation at school, dude.
I didn't hear it in school.
What I'm saying is the same complaints we had over gays in media, over blacks in media, we're having right now over trans in media. And it's just
here's the thing. I don't know where you guys saw that. Yeah, well, where did you guys experience all that at?
I said school.
School?
Online culture?
What state?
Phoenix, Arizona.
California. Texas.
Phoenix, Arizona. Mesa, Arizona. Chandler, Arizona.
The three states I primarily was in my childhood: California, Arizona, and Texas. I remember sitting at my family reunions in Texas, having my grandfather's neighbors literally complaining about black shows.
I was born and raised in Phoenix. I heard this all the time.
And of course, my
sounds more like your areas were the problem.
And again, my areas were California, Arizona, and Texas.
Okay, my areas were Illinois, Tennessee, Missouri, Florida, West Virginia, California, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas.
You do know that Arizona and Texas has a history of being conservatively right.
Well, Arizona's flip-flopped a lot in the last like 50 years.
Arizona's always been.
Ed Meekin was a fluke, okay?
What was?
Ed Meekin was a fluke. We wanted him the fuck out of there.
But what I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you guys are good with Gavin Newsom of all people.
Yeah, I like Gavin.
Oh, fuck Gavin. I had to deal with him when he was supervisor, when he was mayor. Fuck Gavin Newsom.
Oh God, how weird is it for Elihu to be the least liberal one on a certain issue?
I don't know. We're gonna have to put that one up. We're gonna have to record. We're gonna have to clip that.
The dude is full of talk, okay? Full of talk and hair grease.
Well, I definitely will give you that one on the hair grease.
Gavin Newsom is when he doesn't know something, he hires someone who is an expert in that area. That's the only thing I like about him.
When we had the oil spill, we thought Gavin Newsom took a dip in the bay.
Okay, I didn't say he was smart. I said when he doesn't know something, he hires someone who's smarter than him. That's it.
So what are you saying? He has a great personality?
I think he delegates fairly well on most things. Not everything. I will fully admit his track record when it comes to the homelessness problem in California has been abysmal because he's not going with the people who's actually giving him the solutions. He's literally doing the opposite.
Yeah, when he was mayor, he came up with the 10-year.
Just since I brought that up, I have a question. In your lifetime, who, in your opinion, had the best personality as president?
Obama.
You think Obama?
I liked Obama. He's the only one I actually voted for.
Yeah.
I didn't vote for
personality-wise. I don't know.
I have to give it. What I mean is, I voted against Trump. I didn't vote for Biden.
I didn't say. I'm not talking about who you voted for. I said who you thought had the best personality.
Obama.
Oh yeah, Obama by far.
I disagree with you guys. I got to give it to Clinton.
Really?
He was my second choice. He's my second choice.
I got to give it to Clinton, man. He was playing the saxophone for fuck's sake.
Arsenio Hall. I know that. That's why he's my second choice.
Other than the saxophone, he was kind of milquetoast.
He had that charisma. He just had a more charisma around him than Obama did, I felt.
Do you know why
the saxophone put him over the edge.
Do you know why the Secret Service hated jogging with Obama? Because he would veer off path and go to a restaurant, buy everybody lunch. That's why they hated it. It's like, oh shit, this is unplanned. Oh no. That's why this guy was so cool. It's like, okay, hey, he would stop mid jogging and talk to people. They hated that. That's what that was so cool.
Who would you consider?
Like I said, I'm not saying you guys aren't. I'm not saying you're incorrect in your assessment. I got to give the points to.
So what about this? Oh well, this. Nicotine on his job.
Hold on. If we're gonna veer off this much of the topic we were talking about and go to this subject, who would you say is the most bland president in your lifetime? Because I got to go with Bush Senior. Bland? Yeah, the most unimpressive, the one you are like, why the fuck was he even elected? And I would have to go with Bush Senior.
Oh man, Bush or Carter?
I was scared of Bush Senior.
You're talking first Bush, right? You're talking first Bush, right?
Yeah.
You're talking first Bush, right?
Yeah.
George H. Bush.
You know what? I'm gonna go with you there. I'm gonna go with the first Bush. Yeah.
No. That man was intimidating. He knew secrets that nobody else knew. He was in charge of the CIA. He ran the CIA. I was scared of that man.
Yeah, but personality-wise, he was boring as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Biden, I will say, well, Biden, I don't know, man. I got to wait for Biden to be out of office before I can make that termination.
Yeah, and right now, I would say when it comes to personality, I'd say Biden is on par with Bush Jr.
Oh, no way. Bush Jr. had way better comedy.
Hey, at least I flipped off Bush Jr. once.
Well.
Oh, who the fuck didn't? Like,
but,
you're
I can't say anything about Carter because he's before my time. The only ones that have been president in my lifetime are Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush Jr., Obama, Trump, and Biden.
See, I got just one extra. I got Carter, but only at the tail end.
Yeah, I got Carter too.
Well, you have Carter longer. Wait a minute. Don't you also have wait a minute, you were born in 75, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean you have the other guy too?
Nixon?
Yeah. Don't you have Nixon?
Wait, when did Nixon resign?
I don't know. You tell me.
I thought he resigned in 76. Oh shit, I think I did have Nixon as president.
That means you had Ford as well.
I'm old. Fuck it.
Wait a minute. What was it? Nixon, Ford, then Carter?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh shit.
God, I forgot all about Ford. I forgot.
Yeah, the guy who fell down the stairs. Damn, I forgot about Dummy.
All right, Elihu, I have a little quick bone to pick with you. I just now got your message on Twitter. CNA Stram today? What the fuck is a Stram?
Sorry, dude. Ducking spell check. Quack, quack.
And I like how I just now got the notification for it. That was like almost 2 hours ago. Over 2 hours ago. God damn.
I'm like, duh, I finally found it.
Well, when I was posting stuff to Twitter, it wasn't showing up. But when I looked at my phone just made a sound, and I'm like, what is that? And it's your freaking message on Twitter.
Oops.
Hey, what does that say about that? Ford was so forgettable, nobody even remembers him.
That's what we call him, dummy.
It's like, no, dude, seriously, I totally forgot about him. I honestly was thinking Nixon, and then I go straight to Carter. I completely forgot about his ass. Does anybody even remember that guy? I mean, it was before I was born, but I don't even think he's ever talked about.
What did he do, man?
Hold on.
I don't know if he did anything.
What the hell is with presidents and stairs? Because Ford, Carter, Bush Sr., Biden, Trump, they've all had issues with fucking stairs.
No, Trump had issue with the ramp. It was harder on the ramp for him. Easier.
Well, I'm talking about this when he had this toilet paper on his shoe. When
Oh,
he was going
okay.
upstairs.
Okay, yeah, that was funny.
So I'm just like, what? It's like every president we have has issues with fucking stairs at some point.
They need an escalator.
Yeah, but Biden has this distinction about falling up them very often.
Hey, he was able to defy gravity, I guess.
I'm trying to figure out, okay, I get it if you fell down the stairs, but you're falling up the stairs.
I've fallen up the stairs before.
Yeah, but seriously, there's a rail right there.
There was a rail where I fell up the stairs.
Actually, I about 2 weeks ago, I fell down some stairs and messed up my knee, my foot, and fortunately, the scabs are mostly healed up by now.
I was taking a step, my ankle went out, and I fell up the steps.
If it wasn't for the fucking rail, I would have made a much worse tumble down the stairs.
I was actually scared shitless here. I was coming out of the gas station, and I somehow lost my footing, and I was and I just knew I was dropping like a sack of potatoes, and I was like, just barely got my knee and my hands out in place, because if I hadn't got them out there at that right second, I was my face in concrete were about to kiss.
I just know if you're about to slip on ice, you lean forward.
So after that, I decided, you know what, it's time I buy a cane.
The ramp wasn't icy.
Well, hold on. Which one are you talking about, Jordan? Are you talking about Ford, or are you talking about one of the other presidents? Because I thought you were talking about Ford.
Yeah, who was Ford? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if the ramp was
Now I'm gonna
icy,
have to
so was
look up what
everything
the hell
else.
that guy. Now I'm gonna have to look up what that guy did during his presidency, just so I can say, okay, this is what the guy did.
I don't remember what he did.
I don't think anybody does.
Other than pardoning Nixon, I have not a clue about it.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, isn't that all we know? Isn't that like the only thing we know him for? It was pardoning Nixon.
All right, going to the Google-mobile. What did Gerald? Oh, literally, I typed in what in GER, and one of the first things that pop up is Gerald Ford do.
Google is listening. Oh my god!
Even Google knows it's like, okay, people are wondering what this guy did.
It's listening. Holy shit!
Goddamn algorithm.
Right. I'm going to Elihu's least favorite place, but I'm going to Wikipedia. Domestically, Ford presided over the worst economy in the 4 decades since the Great Depression, which they have to write like that because it's been worse since then. With growing inflation and a recession. In one of his most controversial acts, he granted a presidential pardon to Nixon for his role in the Watergate scandal. Foreign policy was characterized by procedural terms, by the increased role Congress began to play, and the corresponding curb of powers of the president. So, let's see. Well, he was also only in office for like
800 and something days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was only there to finish out Nixon, the rest of Nixon's term.
Yeah. So basically, all he did, he was a lame duck president entirely.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, literally, if you want to call it what it is, he was a placeholder until the next election. Well, it's the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Oh, he did do something good. He Presidential Proclamation 4313 introduced a conditional amnesty program for military deserters and Vietnam War draft dodgers.
So basically, any draft dodger got amnesty and cleared.
So basically, people who dodged the draft, ironically, like a former president, got pardoned or got amnesty. And so instead of, possibly going to jail.
Yeah, this may shock you guys. I actually am 100% against the draft.
Well, I maybe that's why I'm weird, is because I'm not against the draft. I'm against the parts where it says only males and of a certain age can be drafted. I realize it's easier to train younger men, but I think it should be both genders, and I think it should be even older people if need be.
So you're kind of more the kind of like the Israeli way they do things.
Israeli is when you turn 18 to automatic 2 years of service.
Yeah, I'm not saying automatic service is a requirement, but I think that every American citizen should be registered for the draft, regardless of age, gender, or profession.
Yeah, women don't have to
100% disagree with that. I absolutely disagree with that.
Why?
Because there are way too many people. Because there are way too many people who have no business ever serving in the military.
But why only men and not women should be required to be in a draft?
Oh,
they should be both.
Well, like I said, Elihu, I don't agree with the draft. Period.
And B, I'm not saying that everyone should be drafted into the military should the time come. I think that the military should be doing, physical and mental checks to see if they would actually still be able to serve.
Yeah.
And disqualify people after that fact. I don't think they should be done before the fact.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people don't understand when you hear someone get kicked out and they say administrative discharge. What that means is it's basically just an easy way to get rid of someone who basically within the first 180 days has not conformed to military lifestyle. It's really just easier paperwork, and it's actually not a bad conduct or, something that's going to adversely affect them in the end. There's not lying there.
Another fucking text message. Oh, cool.
Sorry, I took a bite out of my cookie when I was seeing that comment, and I was like, it made me laugh because I'm like, that's almost exactly what Russia is doing right now.
Yeah.
They've considerably lowered their standards for their army recruitment to include older people.
Yeah, about the only branch of service that ain't lowered its standards in America right now has been the Marine Corps. A lot of the other ones have kind of lowered some standards.
Can you count to one? Yep, you're a Marine. That's all the qualification you need.
Elihu, you know as well as I do, that's not true. They have to count to at least 4.
No, we have to count to 9. After that, it's real simple. 1 0, 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4. They give us coloring books to figure that out.
And I know some Marine is going to complain. It's like, no, we have to count all the way to 2,400.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so glad both of you got that joke.
And I'm not even.
I've never used it. I've never used the term 2400. If it's that late, it's just like, dude, it's fucking
midnight.
30, okay?
It's midnight.
It's like it's fucking dark 30, man. It's late. It's dark. Fuck off.
What time? It's midnight.
¿Qué pasa?
Oh my gosh.
How much lower can standards get? Whew.
This lower.
No. I got stuff right here.
That's how low.
We could go back to when we didn't used to train people.
Not today. No dia. Sorry, I'm talking to Mrs. Vile's nieces and nephew.
Gotcha.
Really, the Spanish didn't give it away.
Well, in case people who are listening don't know that I'm in Mexico.
On a Mexican, whoa, radio.
Eli, when was the last time you visited Mexico?
Over 20 years ago.
Well,
Speaking of which,
sorry,
where's
about
your next
25 years
vacation?
ago.
So where's
I
your
think-
next vacation?
If I get exempt from jury duty, which I should find out tomorrow, I'm gonna go to Disney World for my birthday in a couple weeks.
Well, didn't you just do? I told you to just go in early. They'll let you take it early.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to get confirmation. I should get confirmation tomorrow that I got my thing postponed. So yeah, I should find out tomorrow. So if that's a yes, I'm planning on spending Disney World on my birthday. Going to Cape Canaveral the day before.
Do I need to warn Florida that a Californian's coming?
No,
Yeah.
you have to warn the Californian that Florida is going.
Florida's going where? You don't get much redder than what it already is.
Yeah, I get
No,
to
it's
visit
just-
America's wine.
It's just because Florida is. Well, let's put it this way: we used to have a game back in when I was in high school. We would read headlines, and the headlines we would omit the area of where the headline was occurring, or anything that would give away the headline, and we
You
would
played
call
Florida
the game
Man, didn't
Florida or Germany.
you? In short, you played a version of Florida Man.
Yes, but it was before Florida Man became a meme. We called it Florida or Germany, and we would just read a headline and be like, "Was this from Florida or Germany?" And sometimes it would throw you a curveball. Like there was one where man walks down street with crocodilian on a leash, and you'd think that would be Florida. No,
Germany.
that was Germany.
Well, you kind of need to know the difference between an alligator and a crocodile.
Yeah, the snout.
I don't know. They both taste the same to me.
They do taste the same. I will admit, they do taste the same.
I haven't had gator in over 25 years, man.
Last time I had gator or croc, oh god, 1990s.
That's something I gotta get.
God, you're making me feel old, and B, it's been 30 years, or no, it's been almost 30 years since I've had crocodile or a gator.
Okay,
Yeah, last
LVG?
time I had it, I would have been, oh shit, yeah, it would have been 95 because the next year I was in Illinois and I was going to junior high. So yeah, 95.
LVG,
I think it was like
hang on, LVG, if you're
15 or
listening,
16.
I want gator.
So damn. I gotta
Man,
go
man,
get
we
some
weren't gonna say,
gator etouffee.
hey, we weren't gonna stay young forever, guys.
Speak for yourself. I plan on living forever.
But
Well,
Freddie,
you can live forever,
Freddie
but
even
that
asked
means
who
you
wants
can
to
be
live
young the
forever.
whole time.
Who wants to live forever? Didn't you ever
I
watch
want to live
Highlander?
forever.
Did you watch Highlander? Come on.
No,
Well-
I never watched Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod.
Or the other McLeod with the freaking katana.
Connor McLeod.
Well, you can pick Connor MacLeod, you can pick Duncan MacLeod, although I tend to stick with Connor.
Well, Connor had the show. Duncan had
No,
movies.
Connor had the movie. Duncan had the
Oh,
show.
sorry.
Duncan had the houseboat. They did their two crossovers.
It's been a little long since I've watched either, so
I still was pissed they never did a Mythos spinoff. I know I wasn't the only one who wanted that.
Highlander 2 does not count.
Nobody counts Highlander 2. There is no Highlander 2. I don't care how many times they tried to fucking unfuck it. It never worked. I don't care if you got the original cut, the theatrical trailer, the Renegade edition, the director's cut. You can't unfuck that.
God, you guys are giving me ideas, and I want the computer to pull off these ideas and the money to pay an editor to do it for me.
I don't think there's enough money on the planet to fix Highlander 2.
Yeah, we can't.
No. I'm talking about other things that I'm not going to talk about. That I'm not going to actually go into detail about.
Now, the third Highlander movie with Mario Van Peebles, I actually did like that one.
All right. You guys got to talk to yourselves for a little bit. I got to go Jaloja. I'll be right back.
It's okay to talk to yourself just as long as you do not involve a third party.
Forgive me, Elihu, for I am a worm.
Sorry.
You gotta admit, as far as badass villains go, Clancy Brown as a Kurgan was fucking just great.
It's been years since I've seen the Highlander series or movie.
Oh, man, the Highlander series. God, what were they thinking with that 6th season? Holy shit balls.
What were you thinking with the show, period? Come on, Connor won. He was the last one. Oops, no, wait, sorry, we got more. What?
Now, you see, Highlander, I could see it could be done as a remake now.
If people could be complaining Hollywood's trying to do a reboot again, a remake again.
Yeah,
Like,
but
they're
okay,
trying to
okay,
remake,
Elihu. Let's think about this, though. Say they did do a Highlander reboot. Give me your director and your actor. Okay, wait. Let me rephrase that. Give me your director. Give me the actor for Connor and the actor for Ramirez.
Ramirez would have to be what the hell is it? That guy who played the bad guy Darius on Secret Invasion. What's his name? That main guy, the evil guy, enemy. I forgot the guy's name. He would make a great Darius.
The guy who played the mutant Skrull.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would cast him as a Darius. McLeod.
Yeah.
I would say a
Do you think he
newbie.
passes an Egyptian?
I would say a newbie.
No, but do you think the guy you're picking for Ramirez, do you think he could pass as Egyptian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now Connor, who would you pick for that?
Yeah, I would say newbie.
Newbie.
Yep. Cast a brand new newbie.
All
Remember,
right,
nobody heard Christensen before Star Wars. Cast a newbie.
Got anybody in mind? You got to have somebody believable.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys.
All right, Mike, question for you.
What up?
That's what I was asking earlier. If you could reboot the Highlander movie, who would you pick for Ramirez and who would you pick for Connor and who would you pick as your director?
I forgot director John Cesar and Frakes.
I would pick for Connor. Let's see. I would pick Daniel Craig, dubbed over by Austin Power or Mike Myers' Scottish voice, Shrek voice. For what's the other guy's name? Sean Connery's old role.
Ramirez.
Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez.
I would have Jason Momoa dubbed over by Gabriel Iglesias, doing his Speedy Gonzalez accent. And for the director, and for the director, Jonathan Frakes.
Okay, that is a serious answer, Frakes. He has a good eye.
If I was gonna, oh man, I don't know. Who would I pick for? I'm trying to think who would pick for Ramirez's role. I'm trying to think of who would play a good Egyptian for that role. I don't know why. I want to say Jason Momoa, but the problem is he's just too young.
Well, we're talking about someone who's timeless, ageless, so I think he would work.
Think we could get Morgan Freeman?
No.
Just
No,
wishful thinking on my part.
I don't think he
doesn't-
could do the stunts.
He doesn't do actions. No.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do the act. He doesn't have to do the actions. We can get a stuntman in there.
He doesn't want to do stunts like that. He wants his own character portrayed. He doesn't want somebody portraying him.
What about
So
Ian
this is a great
McClellan?
actor.
What about Sir Ian McClellan?
Ooh.
Mm.
Yeah, that would be a good choice.
That might work. Especially
Yeah.
if they try to put him in as Grecian turned Carthaginian. If they try to, expand that character's history.
And he can have a good accent.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking for this role, like you said, somebody timeless. I'm thinking, okay, well, we don't exactly have a great pool of that, so we're talking A-list level shit here. It's Connor McLeod. Who would be a good young person? Who would be a good compliment for that?
Oh, hold on. I got an idea that might actually work because he's replaced what's his name a few times. So hold on. I'm going to look it up real quick.
How about Taylor Lautner?
No.
I have to look that up. I'm not familiar with who that is.
Good.
All right. No one from that franchise should work in Hollywood again.
Who would be a good?
But he was good in Loverboy and Shark Girl.
James Remar. He could play Duncan.
James Remar?
Or Connor. Sorry, Connor.
Don't you think James Remar is a little too old to play? I mean, he could play a Ramirez, but isn't he a little too old to play Connor?
Well, yeah, he is pushing 70 now. Fuck. I thought he was younger than that.
No, I mean, he's not a bad fit for maybe Ramirez. I loved him in Dexter.
I still yet to see Dexter.
God, I didn't realize he's 70. He's almost 70. Frickin' hell. That makes me feel old. Uh-oh. In addition to making me feel old, here is my 19-year-old daughter, Caddy.
I really came in at the perfect time.
Yes.
How you doing, sweetheart?
I just got up and I'm going back to work.
Did you get a new job or you got a doctor's note?
No, I got a doctor's note and just went back to work. If I sit around my house any longer, I think I might kill someone.
Well,
tell your sister to hide.
I would still use this as an opportunity to look for another job, but I'm proud of you for going back to work because I know work sucks, but you got to make money somehow.
Again, as stated, I think if I sit around my house any longer doing nothing, I will kill someone.
Yeah, somebody better tell your sister to hide.
Luckily for my sisters, they're not the ones that live with me.
Well, out of the people that you live with, if you go on a murderous rampage, I'm not too worried about any of them. Not that I don't think you could kill them, I just wouldn't be worried about it.
Rude.
Okay, what do you guys think about these two? What about these two actors? I know they're on the older side, but they could pull it off. Maybe either Gerald Butler or Thomas Jane as Connor McLeod.
Sorry, who?
No, I don't like either one of them in that role.
Who?
Okay.
I think that Gerald Ford could have pulled it off a few years ago, but today I think he's just too. I don't know. I can't really quantify it with words.
Well, I know
And of
Henry
course-
Cavill's everybody's like main choice, but I'm kind of like,
No.
no,
I
not Henry
I want
Cavill.
a relatively unknown. Hell, I'd take
Yeah,
Tom
but-
Welling as a better Superman over. As a Superman taking over the Connor role. And Caddy
What
has
is
no
it?
idea what we're talking about because she has never seen any of the Highlander stuff.
I'm about to say, I have no idea what's happening. This is all white noise to me.
No, I
Caddy,
can
I
understand
will-
definitely want to go with a young actor, but I'm trying to think of a young actor who could pull the role off.
Well, how about this, Caddy? Maybe you and I should review the original Highlander movie just so you could see a really great movie. Then we'll watch Highlander 2, and you can see how even just one sequel later can almost destroy a franchise.
Dude, that's just cruel. You're gonna subject her to Highlander 2? Why don't you subject her to
Dude,
Terminator
that's
Salvation
cruel.
while we're at it?
That's cruel,
My
man.
Just like you said, young actor, and my brain's like running through a bunch of young Broadway actors that I know, and my brain's just like,
Hold on, that's actually a good point. You know who I think would actually pull it off
huh?
is Jack Quaid. He could play a young Connor, the guy that does Boimler.
Yeah,
Huh.
Can he
He
do
could-
a serious role?
Probably.
I've seen him play serious characters. I mean, did you see him in Scream 6? Or sorry, Scream 5? Where he played the killer?
No, I never saw past the fourth one.
Hey, if Robin
Okay.
Williams can pull off a serious character in a 1 hour photo, I think this guy can do it.
He's got surprising range. That's all I'm gonna give him that.
Okay.
Jack Quaid.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was like, no, that's Randy Quaid. No, Jack Quaid, yeah. Why more? But God, Ramirez is hard because he's supposed to be, an Egyptian turned Spaniard.
I said the guy who played the Super Skull on Secret Invasion. I forgot his name.
Oh, that is just wrong to even say that out loud.
There is no smoking in the Bandit 3, okay? Come on. The Bandit, please. No bad CGI mirror. Come on.
There's no bandit in the third movie.
I know, it's just a mirror shot. No, come on. But Jackie Gleason rocks still, okay?
again, I love how I vaguely have no idea what's going on, and so my brain's just like, sure. It's like I'm in that state of just smile and wave.
Wait, you're lucky to have a brain? Are you sure you're his kid?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Mike. Yeah, who would play? I'm trying to think of a good. I don't know. Like I said, I think Ian McClellan could pull it off. I mean, if I'm going to pick an actor who I think can pull just about anything off, he's one of them.
I didn't think he played a good Magneto until I saw him. Like, okay, Magneto.
My wife's calling.
What the fuck?
That was Indy's ringtone. Mine's just Voyager.
Whenever you're talking about a young actor to play a young version of a character, my brain's just quietly looking at Jeremy Jordan in the corner. Just like, can I just hand you this one Broadway actor and like let him play a role? Cause why not?
Well, how about somebody who looks young? Paul Rudd.
Sorry, Mrs. Vile came out and I was talking to her.
Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. Paul Rudd could possibly pull it off.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, I wasn't listening. So Paul Rudd pulling off which one?
I think Connor. I think he could actually do it.
I would, despite his age, I would definitely say he probably could because his freaking face doesn't age at all. He could play that role for the next 40 years.
He has Dick Clark syndrome, okay? You got that.
Of course I got that reference. I know what Dick Clark is. I know what Dick Clark syndrome is. Crying out loud.
Okay.
Bob Barker has it.
No.
Oh, and also I do want to thank whoever, because I hit the 250 mark and I stopped posting stuff to the store. So whoever bought something just now to drop me back down to 249, thank you. I don't know if
That's
you're
the
actually
goal.
listening to the stream or just happenstance.
Hey, that's the goal, right?
Yep. And as soon as I leave this, end the stream, which I'll keep going for at least another 30 minutes or as long as Caddy wants to do it, because I got to head back up to the States.
I was like, I have to go at 11:30, so
We can go. We'll go to 11 just because you joined up.
oh, wonderful.
Anybody watch that Star Trek musical?
No, and I made it clear that I haven't watched the last 2 Star Trek episodes, and I'm gonna have to watch the musical one with Caddy, just like we watched the Lower Decks one.
I did.
So no spoilers, other than the one Elihu already gave, and I'm gonna smack him for.
Smack him through the stream.
Okay, Mr. Smith.
I've just been trying to figure out this season. I have no idea what this Star Trek wants to even be.
I don't know, but since you're on the channel, Caddy, and even though we talked about it last week, what were your thoughts about the Lower Decks Strange New Worlds crossover?
Mariner's still the best character.
Oh God, I wanted to choke Mariner every time he opened his mouth.
You mean she?
She.
Whatever, Mariner, Boimler. Yeah, I don't care. I wanted to choke them both.
Oh, I thought they played the characters exactly how they voiced them. I loved it, and I'm sorry, small thing. I love the fact that they dyed his hair purple.
I know, with the black roots. I love that. That was authentically accurate.
I will give them credit for the details. I will have to give them credit for that. But here's the thing: if you guys don't know, I don't like that Adult Swim kind of content. That's not my thing.
Did you like the fact that he improvised the Riker maneuver on set when Frakes was directing it? That was totally improvised. Riker.
No, I'll give the what the Q thing. That was definitely a choice.
Oh yeah, you have to deal with the train thing.
Yeah, it's like they haven't met him yet. They're dealing with the whole Trill Alien thing right now.
I want Caddy to give more of her opinion because she hasn't talked about it and she doesn't get to talk Star Trek on this channel that often anymore.
I don't. No, what I was gonna point out was that they did a really good balance of having Lower Decks' like a fun, goofy attitude versus the Star Trek's normal serious tones. They balanced it really well. And also, I would be Boimler in that situation. His geeking out is, I think, how every Star Trek or fan would be. Because I'm sorry. If you got to meet your favorite characters, would you not be geeking the fuck out? And you can't even say I'm wrong there.
Caddy,
No,
do you think...
I will tell you this. If
I got a
I had
question
the
for Caddy.
opportunity, well, hold on, Elihu. If I had the opportunity to go back in time and meet people like Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, Carl Sagan,
I met Carl Sagan once.
I would geek out over them too. They're like those guys I would geek out over and be like, oh my God, I need to shake your hand. You know.
Again,
I got a question for you, Caddy.
Okay.
Do you think this geek out of was more better played Star Trek-y wise than Cisco's geeking out with meeting Kirk in More Trials and Tribulations?
She hasn't seen that episode.
Oh shit.
No idea.
Elihu.
Okay.
The only things that Caddy has seen is the first season of TOS, Lower Decks, one episode of Strange New Worlds, and let's see, you saw Star Trek 1 in the theaters with me. We watched Star Trek 2 because you had to watch Spock's death scene.
Mm-hmm.
Did we watch Star Trek 3 or not? I can't remember.
I think so.
The one where they bring Spock back.
Yes.
Okay. Did we watch the one with the whales?
I like how I always refer to the one with the whales.
I think so.
Nuclear vessel.
I know you haven't seen. I know you haven't seen Final Frontier or Generations or Undiscovered Country, or First Contact. You may have watched Insurrection with me at one point. And everybody,
Hola,
say hi to
pescaditas.
Mrs. Kyle.
Hola, pescaditas.
Hi, Mari.
Elihu. I think the nuclear vessels are in Alameda.
Yeah, I know, but where's Alameda?
I don't know. It's across the bay.
Wait, sweetheart, which of the Next Generation movies did we watch? Did we watch the one with the?
I think we watched a bunch of them because I know we ended up owning a bunch of them.
I know, but I don't think you ever sat down and watched all of them except for one. And I don't know if it was the one where Data was singing. Oh no, he sang in two of them, didn't he?
I believe.
Was
He
it the
sang
one
at
with
the
the
wedding?
Romulans?
Insurrection and Nemesis.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it the one where with the Romulans, or was it the other one? Because I can't remember.
He
You
sung
just
Blue
sat
Sky
down and
at the
watched one of
wedding.
them with me, just because I
was
said
in-
Data was like Spock.
It was sung Blue Sky at the wedding.
I want to say it was Nemesis because that one sounds familiar. Insurrection just doesn't.
Okay, do you remember the off-roading scene where they had the car?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so it was Nemesis. So, okay, so you've seen one Next Generation movie, and that's Nemesis. 3 of the original series movies, and a total of like 4 seasons of Star Trek total, if you count Lower Decks and original series.
Yeah.
And of course, Jacob and I watched Prodigy together. So one of my kids has watched another season of Trek with me, but my other 2 kids haven't watched a single thing about Trek related because they can't stand anything.
I'm not true Trekkie.
They aren't Trekkies at all.
I need to make more coffee.
I
my
grew up
son's
with it. I didn't have a choice.
Say that again.
I grew up with it, and with you, I just didn't get a choice.
Yeah, you did.
Well,
You just didn't have to
blame your
watch it.
grandmother, because if you guys don't know the story about how Caddy became to like not necessarily Star Trek but Spock, my mother got me tickets to go to see Star Trek: The Experience at the San Diego Air and Space Museum.
Oh, lucky.
And my original person I was going to go with me couldn't make it, so I asked Steph if she wanted to go. Sorry, I gave you a real name, but you're 18. Or you're 18,
Well, I'm 19.
Yeah, no
As
how
an
old the
over
kid is,
18.
dude.
At the time, you were what, like 4 or 5 years old?
I think I was 5. 5, I think close to 6, because I think we went towards the end of the year.
On our way in, we ran into 3 people who were dressed in cosplay for Star Trek: The Experience. And one of them was dressed and acted like Spock. And he never dropped character the entire time.
And he walked me around explaining everything.
And she was just so enthralled with this guy being Spock that they invite when they go into the bridge recreation, you're only allowed 2 pictures on the bridge. And they invited Caddy, not me, Caddy, to be one of the helmsmen in their picture.
Lucky kid.
So I have a picture, a professional photograph of Caddy on the bridge of the USS Enterprise with Spock, a Kirk, and a female like yeoman type. Or like Uhura type. Because she's at the other helmsman station.
Communications.
No, at the other helm.
I did
Yeah.
the Star Trek Experience in Vegas. It was the Next Generation one.
I wish I could have gone to that before they closed it all down.
Yeah, when I was in Vegas. We were at 29 Palms, California for our exercise, And our exercise was 2 months long. So in between, we got a break and we could go to Vegas. So I went to Vegas. I wasn't 21, actually, I was 21 at that time, so I could drink. And the Star Trek experience was there. And of course, I'm a fucking diehard Trekkie. So, of course, I go do it. And I'm wearing the shirt I'm wearing is actually a shirt from an RPG I played called Vampire the Masquerade. And it was one of the clans I played, which was my gang role. So I do the experience. I go down to Quark's bar. I order a Romulan ale because why the hell not? If I had thought about it, I would have ordered that and some blood wine, but I didn't even think to do that. I wanted the Romulan ale. And had a meal. You know, it was kind of cool getting served by a Ferengi and everything. And it turns out somebody recognized my shirt. They ended up paying for my meal because they liked the game.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Closest I got to an actual Star Trek was a couple months ago at the Aerospace Museum in DC. Right when you walk in, is the actual model from the Enterprise from the TOS show. I'm like, okay, I didn't care about anything else. I got videos, pictures of it. I'm like, I'm a Trekkie. Get out of my way, people. Come on, out of my way. Let me get a good picture.
Yeah, when I went to the Air and Space Museum, that was before that thing came in. I heard about that thing coming in. I was like, oh, God, I'd go back just to see that.
It's right at the entrance.
The Air and Space Museum, when I visited D.C. with my grandma, was like the the coolest place that we got to visit.
All right, this is not the professional photograph. This is the one I took with my camera. But if you see it, that's the husband and wife, or the person at ops and the person in the captain's seat. Their friend is the one dressed as Spock in the back. And you can see little Caddy right there in the helmsman position.
Flying the ship.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, that was her at the fountain that day. That's her with the model of the Enterprise. That's her with a thing of Superman because for some reason she wanted a picture in front of Superman.
At least she got the pose right.
Afterwards.
What the hell is up with your eye?
You sweetheart.
Why is her eye taped?
She suffered from amblyopia, basically lazy eye. So they covered her strong eye to strengthen her weak eye. And she did it that way she wouldn't have to have surgery.
God, that must have been annoying as fuck for you.
Yeah,
yeah, it didn't take no shit off.
But yeah,
walking around with no goddamn depth perception.
I mean, I got used to it after a while, but I think once I got into like first grade, I didn't have it on anymore.
I don't remember how old you were. And let's see this.
I don't think I ever had it on at school.
Wait, you were actually 6 in that picture. So you were 6.
So what's that, kindergarten for her?
I think so. I know she had to wear it for at least a year and a half.
Constantly?
Damn.
Every day.
Every day. The only time I didn't wear it was when I had just woken up. Because I think I was allowed to eat breakfast without it on, and then I would put it on directly after breakfast.
And the reason is it's actually because of my genetics. It actually skipped me, but both my older brother and my older sister had it, and so did my dad. And they needed, because they didn't do that, they had to have surgery on their eyes to correct it, where they actually open up their face and trim some of the muscles controlling the eye to actually get the eye to function correctly.
Thank you, Father. Thank you for that.
Hey, I got it from my father, who got it from his father. So blame that whole genetic line.
Well, it came from you, so again, thank you, Dad.
All right, I'll accept the responsibility for my genetics.
That's something that most people have issues with.
Well, your sister didn't get it, so
Yeah, I got some lucky.
Yep.
But she still has to wear glasses because her eyesight's still fucked.
Well, that's because both of her parents wear glasses.
Yeah, well,
my mom also-
my wife is just waiting for the day that my wife, every time I go in and get my prescription checked out, she's just waiting for the day. She's like, "You're gonna get bifocals. You're gonna have bifocals just like me." I'm like, "Are you just like hoping this?" She goes, "Yeah." I'm like, thanks,
Dude, I just got a brand new pair of glasses, and these are bifocals.
You know what's funny? I've been wearing literally the same glass lenses for over 10 years because my prescription hasn't changed.
Well, my prescription's changed because my stigmatism's gotten worse over the years. But it's so funny because I got asked why I never went to contacts, and I was always saying I am not shoving something in my fucking eye every day. Although it turns out it's not been a problem because my prescription is not strong enough to. They don't make my prescription in contacts apparently.
I love to wear contacts. I just got to hold like this when I read if I wear contacts, but
I'm about to say, like, my mom wears contacts because her eyesight isn't any better than mine.
No, you
Well,
can't wear
let's put it
contacts.
this way:
Well,
I take
maybe
these
it's
off.
changed, but, when you were a teenager, or you are a teenager, but when you were younger, your doctor said that, or your optometrist said that the type of problems with your eyes couldn't be corrected with contacts.
Yeah.
Maybe that's changed in the last 4 or 5 years since we did that check. So I don't know. But
say, I know that my mom wears contacts. She also does have glasses. Both sides of my family have screwed up eyesight, so I was destined to have it.
yeah, but your eyes are really bad. I mean,
yeah.
You're literally my Caddy's glasses are about 3 to 4 times thicker than mine.
I could use my glasses as weapons if I really wanted.
Yeah.
Well, I knew I was going to
put her lenses into your telescope and see Jupiter perfectly.
Well, when it was like, yeah, you need to be on medication for high blood pressure, I'm like, yeah, knew that was coming. Yeah, you're gonna have to start taking injections for type 2 diabetes. I'm like, yeah, knew that was coming. Like, how do you know? I'm like, because I've been borderline my whole life, even when I was in peak shape because of my family genetics. I'm like, it was just inevitable. It was gonna fucking happen to me.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's kind of funny.
Your dad?
Besides him.
Har.
I say besides my dad.
Oh, okay.
Which side? Which side of your dad's funny?
The left side, right?
The entirety of it.
Oh,
well, I was going to say, if you ask my buddy Moose, he would say my backside is the funniest because my back hair forms the shape of an upside down heart.
Why would somebody be looking at your back? Well, I don't want to know about your sex life.
I don't want to even know. I don't even want to know how that conversation got
I don't want to know about your sex life, dude.
We went swimming at the pool at his house.
Uh-huh. That's what
okay.
Swimming.
Okay, Mike, we're fat people. We're supposed to wear shirts.
I don't fucking wear a shirt.
I'm not fat. I don't wear a shirt.
I know you're not fat, Eli.
Andy, do you know why I don't give a crap about wearing a shirt when I go swimming?
I actually don't know, really.
Because my friends and family already know I'm fucking fat. Why do I care? And two,
I don't know. In all honesty, I've almost always wore a shirt to the pool anyway. I always do.
And when it comes to strangers, I don't care about their opinion. They're strangers. Fuck them. So I don't wear a shirt when I go swimming.
I actually do mainly because I found in my experience, I'm always in a place that's incredibly hot, and when I get out, I like having the shirt on because it keeps me cooler and longer.
I just think this is funny and slightly connected to this conversation. Whenever I introduce my friend, or whenever I'm going to introduce one of my friends to my dad, I evaluate how they're going to react by calling my dad the fat bastard.
Oh, that's okay. I've introduced myself to my daughter's friends as, yeah, I'm the fat dad. And then my daughter will counter that with, you're not fat, Dad, you're fluffy.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, I'm fluffy fat.
I'm big boned.
What was like, there was like 4 or 5 weeks ago, Caddy called me when I was at work. And what I did not realize at the time is during our brief conversation, she called me old man. Okay? What I didn't realize is the Walmart associate who was packing out stuff right next to me, underneath her vest, she was wearing a shirt that said, "Old guys rule." And after I hung up with Caddy, she had to turn to me and says, "Don't worry about being an old man." And she pulls open her vest to show me her shirt. And I was like, "Thank you so much."
Hell, man, I've embraced getting old. Makes not giving a shit about things a lot easier than when I was younger.
I got gray,
I
okay?
call my dad an old man purely on the fact that I know he isn't old. It's just that he had a child fairly young.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I got white hair, gray hair.
What do you define as having a child young?
Well, you were just 18.
Okay, my parents had me when they were 18. I had my daughter at 21, and she had a son at 20. It's just kind of how my family is, so I don't really know what we define as young.
Yeah, my dad had me when he was 50.
My family had a history of having kids before they were even 18.
Yeah. If she makes it to 20 without getting pregnant, she will literally be the firstborn daughter not to get pregnant before 20 in 100 years on her mom's side of the family.
That's like being the first not to go to college. Wow.
Hey, look, man, if I'm being honest, I was actually surprised my daughter made it to 20.
Well, I'm hoping
you can take that for whatever it's worth. It's just the truth.
Not only am I hoping she makes it past 20, I have no interest in becoming a grandparent until after I turn 50.
Well, I'm shit out of luck on that, man. I've been a grandparent now since I was 41.
I'll say I have no interest in children in general.
Well, neither did my daughter, but she decided not to listen to me or her mother on how to prevent that.
I'm never having kids because, well, I can't have a kid.
And I literally gave Caddy something to prevent that recently.
Oh, I used to do that back in the day too. What? I got no fucking shame about that stuff. I bought every kind of feminine product on the planet.
I gave her well, you don't mind how I tell the story, do you, sweetheart?
He gave me Plan B.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a just in case measure.
Well, I bought my daughter condoms, but either or. My daughter goes, "You don't trust me?" I said, "I don't trust him."
Yeah, thank you, dude. Not every guy's responsible, man.
It has nothing to do with trust. It has to do with statistical analysis. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
dude.
I put it this way. I said, "Okay, listen. I know everybody wants to say, oh, wait till you're married and you're in love. Okay, fucking A, that's all great. When you're all hot and heavy and horny and the hormones are going crazy, shit happens. I know what human nature is. Okay."
Yeah, you bought your daughter condoms. Like the saying goes, why does the guy always have to be the one with the condoms? I'm like, hello, equal responsibility, dude. Because the guy sometimes younger doesn't even think about a condom. You're a dude. We're dudes. We know what it was like to be teenagers. Come on.
I can actually say that my boyfriend is very smart. He not only buys condoms, but he buys condoms that I'm not allergic to.
I don't need to know
that information.
TMI, okay?
Yeah, I didn't need to know that.
You talked about giving your daughter condoms.
Yeah.
Yes, but we're different when it's my daughter also on the stream with me.
Yeah, that's like that's the yeah.
It's a little bit different if you weren't on the channel and I'm saying I bought you that stuff just in case.
I can't think of an analogy. I think that was the perfect time to pull it in the suit, dude.
Have you talked to your sister recently?
Not yet.
They're no longer in Santee. They're in Lake Jennings right now.
Why?
I was not told why. I was just told that they're moving over there for a while.
Well, that's concerning.
Well, plus they're starting
Oh,
school
man.
next week, so I'll be picking up Friday if you want to try to swing down.
I'm working Friday.
Well, it's worth a shot.
Oh man, when do we
Plus,
start
also,
homeschooling?
no. That's my 1 year. You think I'm gonna hang out with my siblings on my anniversary with my boyfriend?
Say
Yes.
yes, say yes, say yes.
Mike, if you say yes, I'm going to be honest. You know you're delusional here.
I am not delusional, but this giant pink bunny sitting next to me agrees.
It's just delusional. It's called delusional.
Mind you, said boyfriend's also gonna be in El Centro on our anniversary. Of which I am slightly annoyed with him about.
Did I tell you I was just in El Centro?
Yeah, you went down to Yuma, right?
Yuma, Calexico, and El Centro.
Awesome.
Yeah, did I tell you I nearly had to call you for roadside assistance on my way back?
Why?
I almost ran out of gas.
Jesus.
Oh, I have a question. I have a question for you guys. Maybe you know this.
Well, let me tell the story real quick. Hopefully, don't forget it. But on my way back from El Centro to San Diego, I knew I had enough gas to make it to San Diego, but it was 104 degrees in El Centro.
Ooh, chilly day.
So for those that don't, for those in non-freedom units, that's 40 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, it's a cold day in El Centro right now. Wow, you're lucky you got a chill.
So I was running the entire time with my air conditioner on full blast, and I never run my air conditioner when it's just me in the car because I think it's selfish. I'm weird, okay? I didn't realize that running the air conditioner was going to run my gas mileage so far down that I only made it halfway back to San Diego. And I had to stop at a casino on the way into San Diego to get gas because I was so far on fumes. I literally put in, my van has an 18-gallon tank. I put in over 19 gallons in gas. That means I was down to what was left in the hoses when I got there.
In translation, you were filling up on a wing and a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Running on fumes.
Oh, God, he was running past the fumes, man. I think the fumes were pretty much gone.
I think it was vapors.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was vapor at this point. So
yeah, Caddy, I nearly called you up. Sorry,
so Mike,
I nearly called Caddy to say, hey, you got to get your boyfriend up here to give me gas.
Candy beans on the
that
way.
can be taken so many different ways, Mike.
Yeah. It can be taken so many different ways. You're all right.
All right.
Ran out of gas.
So, guys, remember how my vehicle got broke down last Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's how this played out. We got back home. We're picking up a new vehicle tomorrow. We're just waiting to get through services. We've already put the down payment and everything on, put a deposit, so we're picking it up tomorrow. So figured what it was. It looks like the alternator. And as my wife and I are driving back, first we get the gut punch that Pee Wee Herman died, which sucked. That one gutted me and us. But she asked me to look at the price of the Kelly Blue Book on the van. And I was like, yeah, let me look it up because I knew it wasn't that much. The trade-in value on that thing's $2,500. They call us up. They're like, yeah, it looks like it's going to be the alternator and this thing here. You're looking at about 25 to 3,000 parts and labor.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Where's the alternator on that thing?
What?
Where's the alternator in that thing?
How the hell should I know? Do you think finding an alternator is easy anymore in a modern vehicle?
I know exactly where the alternator is in my van, and I could replace it. It would only cost me $80.
75, $80, yeah.
Yeah, exactly my point. So the vehicle is still in Nashville. It's at the Kia dealership, and my wife and I were just like, We wrote up a letter, got an envelope, went to the post office, got it certified, got it tracked for signature and signatured, sent them the title, the fob, and the key with a note that said, with a signed note that said, isn't worth us getting it repaired. Here you go. It's yours. Do what you want with it. So basically, we just gave him the fucking van.
Well, didn't I tell you it was probably the alternator based on what you said?
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking it was, because that made the most sense. I knew it was going to be somewhere in the 2-3 range, and I was just like, yeah, it's not worth. It's just not worth having to shell out that kind of money.
All right. Well, I'm glad it made it there, and of course, Mrs. Vile has to point out that a few months back, I nearly also ran out of gas trying to cross the border, because I thought it would only take me a few hours to cross it. Instead, it was like 7 hours. And by the time I got to the front, I was nearly out of gas.
Mike, do you need to start taking a 5-gallon tank, a 5-gallon can with you?
I have a 2-gallon one in the car.
Is it full?
Not right now, but
it needs to be full.
That's the point. It's like keeping a flat spare tire in your trunk.
Oh, I don't carry a flat spare tire in my trunk.
Then why do you have an empty gas container in your car?
He has a flat spare tire under his vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, it's in the middle of my van. It's actually between the driver. It's between the driver, the front row seats, and the middle row seats.
Oh, it's that type.
And it's a full size, not a, and it's not flat. Putting on a flat tire, spare tire, is completely redundant, Elihu. Why would you put a flat tire on?
I know, that's the point.
Mike, here's my question: how old is your spare?
About a year and a half old.
Okay, just remember you got to replace those things about every 10 years.
Yeah, I know. I when I bought the van, I made sure they put a brand new one in.
Because you know what can happen to those things, right?
Oh yeah, rubber fatigue causing it to lose shape. Yeah,
and explode, or not explode, implode.
Nitrogen. It's I made sure they put a nitrogen tire in.
Okay.
Yeah, no air. It's got no, not air, but you know what I mean. It's not compressed air. It's nitrogen, so that won't happen. It could still leak, but it won't explode.
Okay.
Implode.
Yeah, exactly. Implode. You're right. Yeah.
But we've been going for 3 hours. Caddy's got to be to work in half an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and screen.
I'm out of coffee.
I don't have to be at work at half an hour. I work at 1. I'm getting ready at 11:30 because I'm walking today.
Oh well, either way.
Walking.
Because I want to.
She doesn't live that far. Walking's fine.
Yeah, it's like a 25-minute walk.
If that.
I'm leaving an hour early so I can get food there before my shift.
Yeah, the fact that you can cut through the park means it's not even a mile.
Yeah, it's just easier.
But anything you guys want to plug before we go?
Nah, I ain't got nothing.
The weekly wrap up tonight on Star, Chris Knight, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's going on tonight.
I might join up again to play some Jackbox if I get back across the border in time.
Okay, I'll warn him.
And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. If you haven't watched it, go watch the latest Kinder Egg video, even though it has no Kinder Eggs in it.
I'm still not going to.
Watch the damn video.
No.
Give it a thumbs up. Click on it, give it a thumbs up, and close the video down at least.
And of course, buy stuff at SD Game Swap so to make me post more shit.
You know, it's time for Caddy to kill you with that phaser.
All right. Let me bring up the video. All right. You're 19 years old now. I figure it's about time you got one after all your complaining.
Die, Daddy, die!
It's still funny every time I see it. All right. Later, folkses, and love you, sweetheart. Bye.